Anyway, how y'all gonna start y'all podcast? Like I was told.
Why are you being petty? See,
no, I was told. No.
He's gonna go. He's gonna by like 15 minutes in. He's gonna go back to. I've seen this too many times. But just let him.
All right.
Yeah.
But I mean, the spirit of how he's doing it.
Yeah.
Petty.
No. He's done it 3 times before. It's not
Right.
the first
Listen,
time.
they told
It's in a petty spirit.
Yeah.
And I don't appreciate
He's
that
done it
petty
before.
spirit that you have.
They told me I talk too much.
So just
They said
You told us
let
you talk too much.
So just
You showed us graphs.
they
So-
they
Right.
said let the boys talk. Stop cutting them off. I said okay. I will.
more from Ghost.
Okay, so take it away.
I want to start it off with Ergoff. Hey, start off the show, man. This
I'm
is
not
your time.
Ergoff. That's Ergoff.
Oh shit, it's been a while.
Andre.
What? Oh my god.
Whoa, my
Hold
God.
on, you mean to tell me you don't
So-
know Jean-Pierre de Leon de Saint-Fleur Ergoff the third when you see him?
So let me get this straight. We've been gone for like 2 weeks. 2 weeks we took off,
2 weeks.
or 2 or 3 weeks at this point.
It's been at least 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
What's in this cup?
Don't ever ask that
Shit.
question. Just keep
Jet
drinking.
fuel.
Just keep drinking.
I can't tell you that. Like we haven't even done a mic check yet. So,
I know.
like,
So let's start with the mic check.
let's go with it. I need a mic check on number 2 over there.
Mic check.
still?
Mic check. Mic check.
Give me like a sentence. Like don't just say mic check. Like I can see mic check. Like say something. Say like one whole sentence.
The wall is white.
Okay.
The wall is black. Is a
Go ahead.
wall?
Go
a
ahead,
wall?
mic 3.
So I got to be mic 3 now
Yeah,
on
I mean-
a permanent status. It's just that's what this is. This is what our relationships devolved into.
Pretty soon you're gonna leapfrog me, bro.
That was
Would you like to switch seats and then like it's called cable management, man.
Sure it is.
It's
Sure
like
it
it's
is.
like you guys
I'm
have
reading the subtext. I see what's happening here.
Yeah, okay. All right, come on. Oh, Gloria calling.
Baby girl, what's your name?
Is that a normal speaking voice?
No.
Because you're gonna adjust your levels to that. Go with a normal speaking voice, sir. Why you got to be extra for?
Well, he don't even like to put the mic to his mouth when he talk. He talk all the way back here and then be like, I don't feel like you could hear me.
Jean-Pierre.
Like the mic.
So what? I'm supposed to be deep throating this bitch? Like what the fuck? Turn up the sensitivity.
Jesus says, "Speaking to the mic, my son."
Jesus.
You see, but the thing, this is what happens when I like adjust your level, is that you decide to stand back here, and then when you got something to say, all of a sudden you pop here, and then you spike the levels to where it starts popping.
So
And
you're
I
consistent.
can't edit a pop out of a sound. Once you pop it, that's it. Then you're gonna
This
be
is
a
like a head
permanent.
game
You're gonna
type
be a
thing,
permanent pop.
Okay.
So you need to be comfortable with the mic right there, right there.
I need it right here.
Let's take our time with it. Like we're not trying to just pop, okay?
pop, pop. No one's watching
Okay, can you
Community
hear me now? Let's go. Put it up.
Turn the mic
with both hands.
No, yeah, like straighten it out. Like point it towards the ceiling a little bit.
Please use both hands.
Like that.
Yeah, just like
Okay.
that.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Are you gonna lean forward the whole time?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna make a pop.
Andre, will you?
Oh.
Andre, help
Oh,
her
I'm
out.
gonna make a pop.
Oh.
I mean,
If loosen the side, and then it'll slide closer.
Over.
Yeah, but then it's gonna slide downward too.
Watch out for the cup.
But you can. It's got like 15 different things of adjustment on it. No, not that one. The one on the outside. If you loosen it, then the arm should slide forward some more.
Thank you.
Get in a nice position where you're comfortable, where you don't
Now
have
you
to
gotta
move the mic.
It's okay.
See, I'm sitting like this most of the time, so like I'm good.
Yeah, because it's rare that you're back.
Yeah, if I'm back, I'm just listening to y'all, just like I'm gonna be doing most of today. Like I'm just gonna be listening.
Zoo, grab this and
Oh,
rotate
that's
the
good.
arm, the whole arm.
No, that's good right here. I like this right here.
All right,
Okay
Yeah.
then.
Dirt. That's Jersey. Sorry.
we good.
Maybe.
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you really blitzed already?
No, man.
I feel like this is a repeat of last Saturday when I show up to the fight and he's already zonked. And I'm like, what did y'all give him? They're like, a shot of tequila. I'm like, no.
They gave me an edible, bro. I didn't want to tell you because you're gonna get mad and say, "Why you share?"
They told me when you went outside.
Yeah.
They're like, he saved you some though. I was like, oh, at least my boy saved me some.
I broke it in half. I was like, yo, he won't mind.
At least you had the intention of sharing it at first, and it was like, you know what, fuck it. I was like, he was like, I had a shot of tequila. I'm like, no, ghosts can't have anything but house margarita. We've learned this. Do not give him anything to drink because then I have to babysit him.
It's karma, man. It's karma for all the times we have to babysit you when
you is not fucking lying.
Listen, we were watching this fight, right? This Conor McGregor fight, and he's getting up to it. And I ordered a double Crown Apple and ginger ale. She brings it to me, and I'm like, it's like ginger ale. So I was like, let me get another double. It's just like ginger ale. All right. What do you have over a double? She was like, I can bring you a triple. I'm like, all right, bring me a quadruple because like
that's gonna be
y'all can't seem to get this right. So I'm gonna need a quadruple or something. And then she brought it out. It was still a single. Like, and on my bill, it was all singles. Like there were no doubles.
Oh,
she kept telling me she was giving me a double, and she kept giving me a single.
Because they can't give a certain amount of alcohol over a certain period of time.
But even if I order a double, if I just walked in and ordered a double, I had my only giraffe shirt on too. She should know celebrities when they fucking walk in the building. I tell you, I fucking hate like being waited on by somebody who knows somebody at the table. Yeah, because that chick knew homeboy, and all of a sudden, like we weren't getting the attention we needed.
He was getting all the attention.
It was like she come back to the table, and she thought because she was cool with us, like
right, it'll be okay that she
she don't hit the table. I'm sitting there like this, raising my hand like I'm a child at school, like bitch, I need a drink. Yeah. Like I don't give a fuck who you cool with. I'm thirsty. You know what I'm saying? Like this is affecting your tip. And believe me, like
so what do you do in that situation? Do you still give him the homeboy tip, or do you say no, that service was trash?
Something was weird because like everybody kept like hushing up when she was coming around. What is she like? No homeboy's like fiance or some shit like that.
No homeboy fiance.
But people were still like trying to eye her and shit. Yeah. And it was like, come on, man, you can't do dirt at Gators dockside. Like, like let's just watch.
Gators dockside is trash anyway, though.
Yeah, but it's the only place that be showing fights anymore. I mean, for now, I guess like when shit finally gets opened up.
If it opens up,
we could try Buffalo Wild Wings again.
I tell you what,
they probably got our faces up somewhere too.
I'm embarrassed to go into Buffalo Wild Wings after that situation. They snatched the sandwich out of my hand.
The fact that they snatched the sandwich is like the crazy part.
Yeah,
just let me eat my food.
Like take your food to go.
One guy gets kicked out, the other one throws up in the bathroom, and I'm just sitting there hungry. Like, come on. Like
listen, it was
interesting. Like
we should just get a video camera to follow us, and it'd be like Powder and Lemon Pepper Boys Adventures.
Like the real world. Just follow us around.
We'd have to have two separate crews because I'm gonna stop and talk to everybody.
If you drunk, yes, you will.
Yeah, I remember Halloween. You asked us talking to everybody, including
we lost. I want to say we lost him like 3 times in Halloween. And
so
like
he's that one friend that likes to talk to everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah, because we dressed up. We went out. We hit. What
was he dressed up as?
He was dressed up as a knight.
A Templar.
What type of knight? Like medieval times?
I was a Templar.
Whatever. He was.
I was conquering in the name of the Lord.
He was like one of them knights from like National Treasure. The ones that hid the treasure that Nicolas Cage had to find. That's what he was dressed like.
I was conquering in the name of the Lord.
No, he was out there talking to all these people the whole night. Every time me and Andre turned around, like, "Yo, you see Ergoff?" And he's like, "Nah." We had to like literally stop where we were so he could eventually catch up to us.
I mean, he makes a great point though. That's the one night that you could talk to anybody. They're not going to judge you for it because you have on a costume.
No, Andre.
I do that I do it when it's not Halloween. I did it New Year's too. Remember, boys?
Listen, Andre was judging that the racist Homelander.
They say he's racist. I don't know. I was hammered beyond belief.
He had the thing on his face?
He was. He made a comment. He made a comment because
I didn't even hear the comment.
In the show, Homelander is not actually racist.
But
he just thinks people who aren't superheroes are trash to begin with.
Okay. So that's
right?
racism.
No, that's not racism. This Homelander was flat out like saying some racist ass shit. And I was like, and like, not like, you damn niggers, like not that. It was more like the low key, like, hey, I'm glad your people use condoms type racism. Like that like
that sarcastic type.
That that polite racism shit that, some people do. And they're like, they don't even realize how racist it is. He was doing that stuff. And I was like, oh, hell no. Let me get away from this dude before like I get upset.
I don't know what it is about my man, but he always seemed to throw fits on Halloween.
Yeah.
Like Halloween, the one time a year where he throw fits.
Those are the days I don't take shit. Cause
two years prior, I'm sorry.
Oh,
like,
no,
I was trying to tell the story. You seemed like you were trying to cut me off. I was not trying to cut you off.
Get it right.
Why are you being extra petty right now?
I promise.
I promise you being extra petty.
I promise.
Extra petty.
Tell the story. Go ahead.
2 years ago, we was in a McDonald's and it was a white dude kept saying the N-word and Andre just lost it. And I had to go pull dude aside and I was like, yo, can you get your friend to stop saying the N-word because my man about to lose it? And then the whole story was I tried to fight the dude. They went back to work talking about, oh, Ben was about to fight my friend in the McDonald's. I was like, nah, not me. Like, I was about to fight nobody. My man Andre, he was about to go off. But then last year, the two of y'all got into it because you lost your wallet.
I found that bitch too.
Yeah, but
so Halloween.
That must be like when the spooks come out.
No.
Of you.
Halloween is so I only have like 2 holidays, right? New Year's and Halloween. Those are my holidays. I love those holidays. Halloween is the day everybody, stops putting on airs and connects with like the child within. They dress up, they have fun, and they want to party. Like that's the one day a year where everybody gets on my level.
Okay.
So I like to have fun. And I don't put up with bullshit. Like, normally, I don't care. It's like, whatever, man. I'm just used to everyone just being whatever. But on that day, I refuse to let it be ruined. And normally, that usually means when someone does something to piss me off, it actually gets a reaction out of me. So that is why I always blow up on, like, Halloween. And it's usually, I'm not blowing up over nothing. Someone's doing something that's genuinely aggravating. And I'm just not going to put up with it on that day.
He was so mad, he went to a cocaine party afterwards and didn't participate in the orgy that was happening.
First off,
yeah.
I didn't know the orgy was happening. I was downstairs. And I didn't get to have any of the cocaine, so I was upset.
Jesus.
I was waiting to see if he was going to address the cocaine part.
Right. He was like, I was upset.
Or
you get to have the cocaine.
I didn't participate in the orgy. What about
we went
the
out New
cocaine?
Year's too, didn't we, boys?
Did we?
We did.
Did I?
That's when I was plugging too damn like.
Oh yeah,
y'all wouldn't.
Remember we went? I was sticking the stickers on everything.
Oh my god, just all over.
I was going on like the ATM machines where you put your PIN number in. I was putting stickers over that shit.
Yeah, I went to the bank the other day. They had one of those where a guy was promoting his YouTube.
Shit.
This man was putting them all over our elevators and shit.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Gotta do it again.
It goes everywhere. We need to go out again like that. It was a good time.
I got absolutely hammered.
I keep waiting to go out. Like I keep thinking like after a podcast we're gonna go out and get trashed. But then it's like
I'm down.
But you want to go to like
you want to go
downtown.
to some like techno like party and shit. He was at a party last night. It looked like it was like laser shooting. Like I thought it was like the Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt, like where he was at. And I just see lasers going from roof to roof. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
That wasn't the only place I was at, and yes, it was crunk though. You saw it.
I'm gonna give you.
He saw it.
I'm gonna give you some self help later in the podcast, but I ain't gonna give it to you right now.
You saw it.
I'm gonna give you some self help.
I got some self help for you in a little bit.
Oh, so is we gonna start with the laws of power?
Yeah.
No, hold up. Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yes, CEO.
See, like y'all still need me for something, right?
He got to introduce them.
I don't need you for shit. I was playing. Give me the book. I'll read that motherfucker. Pinkies up.
Spicy.
Oh, shit.
Where the popcorn?
No way. Wow.
Fuego.
Yeah, not now,
Shit.
bitch.
So anyway, it's another episode of the Two Dev Crew podcast. This is episode 23 of season 2021. And I say that because I still have 2 episodes I have not released yet. So by the time the audience is hearing this, they've already heard the last 2, but they don't know that they were recorded like a month ago, right?
Oh, yeah. I found out who was listening to us, by the way, too. Remember how you asked the question? Somebody listened to the whole...
Yeah,
I found out who it was. Yeah.
Was it who I think it was?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Spice. Extra nice, right? So anyway, episode 23 of season 2021 of the Two Damn Crew podcast. It's your boy Powder here with the Lemon Pepper Boys. I got Ghost, Andre. I'm confused if Ergoff is actually a lemon pepper boy or not. Like, I understand he says he chokes his chicken with no gravy, but
no gravy.
I don't understand if he actually does, because when I told him to jerk off after a hangover to get rid of it, he looked at me funny. Like, if anybody who chokes the chicken understands that once you do that, like, you feel good. Or you go back to sleep.
All the stress reliever.
Okay.
I like jerking off before work. I like jerking off after work. I like jerking off when I woke up. I like jerking off after I've had a bad day.
This is good for listeners. This is real good.
I'm saying, like, what better way to fucking release stress than to beat yourself up, have an epiphany moment, like, and then be like, everything is cool, afterwards.
Can you at least finish introducing all the hosts before going into your masturbation routine?
Anyway, Lemon Pepper Boys here. We got Honeybee here with us. How are you?
I'm good.
Everybody was on time today.
Yes.
Except Andre in his own studio.
Hey, man. Had to run to the
store. I'll let y'all have the mic for a second while I go get the book, because we do have to go over law number 4.
Yes, we do.
Okay. So let's start.
Good sir, can you hand me that backpack?
I sure can.
Let's start talking off the Olympics chick, right?
Yep.
You brought that up.
Sha'Carri or Sha'Carri?
Yeah. Sha'Carri Richardson.
So exactly what happened. I don't know the details. I know like the rough situation, but I don't know the actual details. It sounded like there was more going on.
So she was looking as impressive as shit in her qualifiers, and like everybody's excited because she might be the one to touch FloJo's record, right?
Who the hell is FloJo?
I don't know FloJo too.
The fastest woman that ever lived so far, apparently.
So anyway. My kids did a project on her.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Florence Griffith Joyner?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So real quick, before we continue down that road, I have to ask this question because y'all looked at me like I was the crazy one. Is the Olympics still really that important of a thing? Are these people really still that important?
Yes.
But
why?
Why wouldn't it be?
Because you represent your country.
But no, it's literally like the Olympics is the thought behind the Olympics is it's the greatest athletes in the world. It's not like
of sports.
It's not like when you play football and it's just the highest paid athletes or the people who show, like the NBA's a little different now because they draft internationally, but you still play within a set like parameter. The Olympics is different. Like the Olympics, you can be anybody or nobody and compete in the Olympics if you have a skill. So if you want to actually prove to the world you were a great athlete, the Olympics would be where it was at. Versus, like I could go run races all day at the flea market. I'm the fastest dude in Northwest Miami. Don't make me anybody though.
Okay. All right. Continue with explaining who FloJo is now.
Oh no, so she's just her record is it stands still. So, there was a lot of hype surrounding that, and everybody was excited that, Richardson was going to represent. And then her drug test came back positive for marijuana.
Okay.
And they told her she couldn't compete because she had a 30-day suspension. And people are up in arms about it. And so you have two different sides. Some people are like, oh, well, it's not a performance enhancer. If anything, it's probably a performance degrader. you could argue
Yeah.
smoking.
Mm-hmm.
As far as lung capacity and things of that nature. But anyway, so on the one hand, people are like, it shouldn't be. But I mean, on the other hand, it is listed as a banned substance.
That is correct.
And she accepts she accepts responsibility. She told why,
Mm-hmm.
the circumstances surrounding why she did what she did, but
Her
she's,
mother passed.
Okay.
yeah. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yep, her mother passed.
Her mother passed away, and, it was a dark time for her, so she,
But she knew ahead of time that this is when they're going to test. So if you know ahead of time this is when they're going to test, why even take it?
right. Why
So-
even take the risk?
Why
So-
even take the risk?
I have a question now,
Yep.
right? Because the next most famous person that I know of that involves Olympics and weed was it Michael Phelps?
Yes.
Yep.
Did he ever get caught with weed in his system and was allowed to participate?
Not to my knowledge.
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah, not to my
Okay.
knowledge.
Okay. Is there precedence for them turning around and saying, "Hey, there's weed in your system"?
No.
You said
banned-
it was listed on a banned
Yeah.
substance list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
For steroids, yes, stuff like that always happens, but not for weed in particular.
Okay.
Like, that's why it's only a 30-day suspension. If you have like performance enhancing drugs,
It's
that's
years
when
ban.
sometimes
it's years.
it can be a lifetime.
But
Sometimes
you don't think,
like what was her name? Marion Jones.
Marion Jones, yeah.
Yeah, they got her ass good.
yeah, but you don't think that weed is a performance enhancing drug?
I don't.
I don't.
No.
I mean, the
I don't
It's
think
just
it
a banned
enhances your
substance,
performance.
right?
Yeah, it's a
no,
substance.
so delayed responses, relaxed mentality. I mean, if anything, she was doing the bitches a favor. By
That's
making
what
it more
I'm saying. It
competitive.
was perhaps a performance degrader.
Well, the only thing I could think of is if she was smoking the weed and it blocks some of the pain. Like, when your body's telling you enough is enough, you're going to run to a point where you get a cramp.
Well, I don't even
Then-
think it was like in her system the day of the
gonna
meet.
say
I
it's
just
not.
think
Yeah. It was
they
within the time
found
period that
they found
they were
traces
testing.
of it
Yeah.
during the testing period. I don't think any responsible athlete's gonna get high and then go try to perform at the highest level, because that's not gonna work.
She lost a
A-Rod.
lot of money.
A-Rod did it.
She lost a lot of money.
Mark McGuire did it.
Hey.
Sammy Sosa did it.
A-Rod did it, and right now he owns a basketball team.
Yeah, but,
But are we talking about weed or are we talking about steroids?
steroids.
Well, that's
The good
different.
stuff.
I
Steroids
was
is
talking
harder.
about
Yeah,
weed.
steroids
She
is
got caught for weed, not steroids, which is why it was only a 30-day suspension.
She should have learned from the fucking Medina Spirit. You can't win the Kentucky Derby on on performance enhancing drugs. You can't fucking race on weed.
In the Tour de France, if they
Lance Armstrong.
not only him, literally every single one of them, if they pulled out everyone who's ever had a doping incident on their record
Mm-hmm.
and pulled them out of the list, the person who would technically climb to first is the number 23rd competitor.
Jeez.
How do you know, where do you get this fact from?
I've seen it online before.
Online
there's a
where?
documentary on
Is it like one of the Snapchat stories?
No,
That's a documentary.
Because that's why.
Snapchat stories are tabloids,
But that's where I get like most of my information from now. Is like
That
the
explains
Snapchat
a lot.
stories.
that explains
a
tons.
lot.
That's tabloids,
Oh
bro.
my God.
Like I go over there and it's like, guess who Drake's with now? And I'm like, oh, who's he with?
Oh my God.
I'm clicking on it.
You are,
Bro,
you
I
are
would
the
not
millennial
openly
version
admit
of the
that.
housewife shopping in the grocery store with the National Enquirer.
I'm sorry, they got me. I want to know who Drake was with next. They knew. It's like Snapchat knew exactly what I wanted to read that day.
Oh, it's
my
almost like they
God.
have an algorithm to determine what you're going to click on.
Right.
Shit, right? It's almost like that whole Space Jam shit.
They're wrong every time because I don't click on none of them cheesy ass stories.
bro,
I'm
you
like,
don't?
Yeah,
trying.
I tell you, I clicked on Ergoff's Snapchat story, and he's out there in some space age thing, and then he flips the camera, and I saw he's by himself.
I was. Did nobody
I was
want to
like,
go
that's-
anywhere?
I was like,
I'm
that's-
not afraid to go out alone.
I was like, that's sad.
You're not afraid
I've
to
been
go
to the
alone?
movies by myself.
I'm not.
No,
That's the best time to think.
He
I
was out in the
hated that.
club by himself.
No, that's different.
I went out one time
very-
by myself. Never
What
again.
do you do?
You went where, Honeybee?
I went downtown by myself. I think that's the most.
That's dangerous.
That's dangerous.
It's
As a
definitely
female?
dangerous.
Did you
Yeah.
drink?
Okay, Why is that?
Did you drink?
Why?
Man.
Why can't I go by myself?
Men are trash.
and
No,
you
no, no,
guys
no, no,
can't?
no.
That's so fucked up.
Whoa, whoa,
Why
whoa,
can't
whoa,
I
whoa,
have
whoa,
Men
whoa.
are trash.
No,
You can.
No.
Men are
We're
trash,
just-
though.
Yes.
It. Actually, you know what? Damn, she's right.
No, no. Listen,
I know, but like we're assuming all like because I wouldn't say I'm trash. That she would like if I approached her and she was out by herself, I don't think she'd be in any danger. But the fact by saying that, damn,
Right.
you can't do that. That's assuming that all dudes are trash, including
No.
myself.
I had
Not
to,
all
like-
dudes are gonna say
I
something.
had pepper spray. I had my little knife. I like everything.
A
on
knife?
Just
Yeah, you gotta be prepared, bro.
a knife.
I love
like
it.
like a you know.
Can
blade.
I ask a question? I'm sorry. Like, am I allowed to?
Go ahead, boss.
I just want to know.
Why?
Go
I,
ahead,
I
boss.
just had I had to wait for my turn and ask if it was okay.
Yep.
It's okay for me to ask.
Go ahead.
So one, I want to ask if I guess it's okay if you go out by yourself if you're not planning on falling under the influence because you can make a conscious decision.
Yes.
You know, and that's usually why you go out with a friend because like if I get stupid, you could let me know, hey, you being stupid or at least take enough photos to embarrass me the next day.
Yes.
You know.
You shouldn't need a babysitter.
As
But
a
it's not
woman
a
or as a male?
I'm talking as a male.
Yeah,
Oh.
but
Sure.
but you never know how a drink's gonna hit you.
Right.
Right.
So like you could have sometimes I could sit there and drink like 5 or 6 drinks like fight night last week and not feel anything but the pain in my legs. But then sometimes you could sit there and drink one and all of a sudden be like, oh, you know, like,
Yep.
and then you don't know how, you know, if you're having a good time, sometimes you just don't know when to stop.
That's like I've always wanted to travel like on my own, like go across
Yeah.
and like just do it because I like doing and exploring by myself, but I can't. Like I realize the danger that I
Yeah,
can't.
it's a lot.
My sister does that. She goes on trips by herself sometimes.
Yeah, but it's more of like I have to prepare myself, like just in case I have to know my surroundings. Where are my people? Like, who am I looking at? Why is this guy looking at me? Okay, I gotta understand. What am I wearing? Like all of this stuff that I have to like
Yeah.
protect myself from.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know it's a lot worse for women in general, but I think everybody
For sure.
has to do that when they're like, when I went out last night, it's like, okay, I ain't got no backup.
Yeah.
You know, somebody could pull a gun,
Yeah.
think I'm a threat.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
just because I'm wearing certain colors, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
could be the case or what have you. So it's not as bad, but I think it's just kind of, it's like you wouldn't go out into the wilderness without a plan.
I
So
Yeah,
feel that. I
exit
feel like
strategy.
there's like a different danger though. Like there's
Oh, yeah, it's definitely
women
different.
are more targeted to being raped and sexually assaulted.
You're being
Well,
hunted the more you walk
literally.
out that door.
This is crazy. But it's
It sounds
true.
weird, but
It's
You
the way
being
you
hun-
said it. It's
But
the way
it's-
you
it's
said
cra-
it.
you're
So-
being hunted the more you walk out that door.
So it's funny though, because me and my friend, we had a conversation and it was really illuminating. She was trying to like practice empathizing with the plight of the male. She's like, I'm trying to get better at that, right?
mm-hmm.
So, but she came up with a good idea and she was like, you know what? With women, the threat is sexual violence.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with men, the threat is just violence in general.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because a man's gonna look to prove himself at
Yep.
your expense or something, especially if you're trying to check a man. Because she was asking, why don't we check more men?
Mm.
And it's like, yeah, we could check somebody we don't know, but that's instantly a fight.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't
Yeah.
mean we shouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But you almost, if the guy's drunk and belligerent and you don't know him and you're like, come on, dude, that's not cool. You can just about bet that he's going to bow back up at you.
Mhm.
And now here we are in a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the problems me and Ben had in Miami all the time. With like the machismo. Right, Ben?
Oh my god.
It's your
Well,
turn.
you know, am I allowed to talk?
Yeah, go
Oh
ahead.
my God.
I was
go ahead.
I was raising my hand. I was
This
waiting my
bit is
turn.
getting old. Go ahead.
Hey, Dad, listen, I'm just
Yeah, the
going,
bit's
I'm
old.
just doing what I was told. But one, when you said you had to be careful what you was wearing, it sounded like you was going down and partying like Crenshaw Boulevard, like you.
No, I'm saying in certain
Like-
cases.
Like I've
Yeah.
I've never heard of a fight breaking out in Orlando based off the shit you was wearing. Like
But we don't.
you don't go
gang
to you don't
activities,
go
yeah.
to those spots.
neither
sir.
do you.
You don't know what I do. You don't know my life.
I saw you in a crowd, and that crowd looked like a.
Oh yeah, no, I was
Your-
definitely not in any.
Your
danger
crowd
back there.
looked like it was at a Trump rally. Like it was, It was enough Caucasian in the seeds to know where you exactly was
I don't
at.
even know how
That
you
could
saw
still be
anybody. There was
dangerous.
no lights.
Hey, exactly why I
No,
could see everybody.
He found something. You know, he's examining that picture.
Mm-hmm. That's all I got to do.
He's a creeper, like
He's a-
the guy from You.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, literally.
why are you
Listen.
checking for me in the first place?
Hey, why you posted it to be public knowledge? Like, it ain't why I looked at it. It's why you posted it. You wanted people to know where you was at.
I didn't want you to
so
know.
he's safe.
What?
He want to be safe.
Yeah,
I didn't want you to know.
He didn't send me a pin. He didn't drop me a location.
Oh, for real? You gotta send. Okay.
I'm just saying, like, even if he was, I don't know where the fuck he was.
Would you feel comfortable going out by yourself?
Hell no.
Oh.
Now, why think I sit home all day? Like, I'm antisocial like a
I
motherfucker.
can't do it either.
Like,
I
weird,
did it
bro.
once, and that's it.
I don't
It's
like.
weird, man.
I do it a lot, actually.
I tell you, I don't like showing up to a spot by myself. Like, even if there's a crew of people, just because. Like, even
Yeah, man.
we went to fight night Saturday. Like, I had anxiety walking from the car into the fucking restaurant
Yeah.
But that's
just because
social
I was by
anxiety.
myself.
Yeah.
when I go, like, I just came from the grocery store. Like, I call someone. I'm on the phone with them, just so I don't feel like I'm by myself. 'Cause,
Nah,
like, that's just-
Publix. Okay, that segues perfectly.
But man, you got issues.
That segues perfectly into something B was saying she wanted to talk about, which is being alone versus lonely.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey.
Good segue.
I like the
But-
plug.
But y'all didn't finish your one topic.
Which one?
You talk about this chick with the drugs.
Oh yeah.
Which
So
I think
what's
we were just
the
discussing
problem?
the
We were
current
just
event.
discussing a current
we were
event.
trying to
Yeah, we weren't
distract
trying to
any-
go deep.
That
she
was
messed up.
That was,
I mean,
that-
she
that-
messed up.
She messed up the bag.
Good.
So that was
That's
just, that was just a
lot of-
carry.
lot of money.
That was a like a warmer.
That was a
to
warmer,
your
man.
real
It's
topic.
just current
Yeah.
events. Like, what do you feel? Like, I think
Yeah.
everybody, the consensus is
She
like,
messed up.
if you know that you can't
Yeah,
do
but-
it and you
okay,
do it,
so-
then you have to face the consequences.
So when you got how many states right now with recreational marijuana? Like it becomes
29.
it becomes recreational at that
Yep.
point.
Mm-hmm.
And then you gonna sit there and I mean, I understand worldwide, but I mean worldwide Amsterdam got hash cafes.
Just wait until they stop testing.
It's
That's
not
all.
they'll still have to test, but the thing is that it's just it's gonna flag always.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's
But-
a difference between like it being recreational and you knowing what you're doing, and then it's a rule. Like if you're going to compete in something and they said you cannot do this, it's on a banned substance. You know the rules. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
But what
Which is why she wasn't
but-
making a big fuss.
But I understand, but it's like, what advantage did she gain? I can understand human growth hormones, okay.
yeah.
You know, horse testosterone, all right. You know, cocaine, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things that, like, speed you up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But marijuana does nothing but slow you down.
Yeah.
Still a bad substance.
I know, I understand, but again, marijuana was not legal in how many states 10 years ago?
I see your point.
Like the
Yeah.
times have changed, and eventually,
So
I mean-
that's a separate discussion.
But
for
I've-
policy.
It's not a context
It's-
sport.
yeah, it-
it's not a context sport.
but I've also heard that they're actually looking to take marijuana off of the banned substances
A lot of
for,
Right.
people are.
Yeah.
and,
Right.
and that's
Yeah.
what they should do.
for
Federal.
no for professional sports.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like when they do
UFC
these,
started doing
when they do these random drug tests, that they're not looking that they're not going to flag you for marijuana anymore.
Mhm.
Well, it's a good alternative to opioids for pain management.
Literally.
I
Oh,
mean,
yes.
how many wrestlers may we still have to this day if opioid addiction wasn't a big deal?
That
I
is
mean,
very true.
they already screwed their bodies up with the roids. You can't tell me anybody pre-Attitude Era wasn't on roids.
Oh, they were all on
Scott Steiner,
They
Hulk
used to
Hogan.
advertise basically roids on the show.
Yeah.
Remember those stackers?
Oh, my
and,
God.
Like, all the other supplements they used to advertise on wrestling.
So I don't see what the big deal is.
Unfortunately, right now we're just still in a
Yeah.
in a war of like people saying that it's good.
We-
and seeing people are saying that it's horrible.
We have to blame who was it? Was it the what delegation was in the White House when they classified the drugs? Was it Reagan?
Reagan started the war on drugs.
Yeah.
And then Reagan classified marijuana as a class 1.
Yeah.
Same as heroin, cocaine.
That's a big difference too.
Fucking Reagan.
There's a whole if you look in, there are several good drug war documentaries on Netflix that you can watch.
Is that
They
one
go-
of the ones unexplained or?
No,
No.
they're their own documentaries, and you watch this shit, you're like, Yo.
Yeah, it started with the lumber companies, right?
No, that's why hemp is illegal. Hemp was illegal because it was a cheap alternative to cottons and certain lumber, and they made hemp illegal, so those companies wouldn't go out of business. Marijuana is an illegal drug because of whatchamacallit. Ultimately, it started with hemp, but ultimately it was the drug war that made it the illegal thing we know it as now.
It's crazy, right? Reagan bans marijuana, but then gives crack to the black community.
Yeah. That is confirmed things that were done.
Damn.
Yeah. So
fucking Republicans.
That's some next level.
You know what's crazy?
bullshit.
It just amazes me how like blatantly these crimes can go, and then like you don't do shit about it, but everybody was quick to lock Cosby up in jail.
He's out now.
On
a technicality.
Yeah, whatever. He's old.
That
But
too.
you quick to lock him up, quick to get R. Kelly for pissing on somebody, but no, right? When you say like,
Just
hey,
gonna downgrade sexual assault right now? Like,
no. What he's saying?
No,
is
no,
that-
I'm saying-
that's kind of
Get him.
No.
A cool
What
one.
he's saying is like the people are quick to demonize like these people and get justice as swiftly as possible. But we have documented proof from government documents of all this stuff that happened, and everyone's just all like they ignore. They ignore it. They ignore it and pretend like it doesn't happen.
listen, I mean,
it profits them at the end of the day.
Nixon was on the tape for Watergate, and last I checked, he was chilling.
Yep. Yeah.
Hypocrisy is always going to be a part of willful ignorance.
Yeah.
All right, on to a more joyful topic. How about loneliness?
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually no. We gotta do the law.
Oh, we have to visit the
Break
law.
down
We'll visit the law and then
There's
we'll
the
step
law
into
and
the
then we'll
topic.
come back to loneliness.
Okay.
It might segue into
Yeah.
who knows.
I doubt it.
Oh, I'll find a way to segue some shit because I'm talented like that.
Just the tip.
So today's law from the 48 Laws of the Game, and let me give a shout out to this book because when I sent it in our group chat, everybody was like, "Yo, let me get that book next. Let me get that book next." Like they ignored all the other books in my catalog: 48 Laws of Power, Zombie Survival Guide, BMF Mafia. Like all these good self-help books, they skipped them all. They all went to pimpology. They all wanted to fucking borrow pimpology. For
Right,
we
trying to be better at women, folk.
But a book about like my man.
No, I'm just playing.
My man was like that too. I was like, my man, you a lover boy. Like you don't need to read this pimp manual. Like you need to go. If you want to be a man whore, you go read a book about being a man whore. This is about pimping right here.
Pimping ain't easy.
Exactly.
Pimping ain't easy. That's why I don't do it.
All right. So rule number 4 is keep a hoe in arrears. That's rule number 4.
Does that mean always having like an extra side chick, like ready to go? Like what?
That means always keeping them in arrears, like in vicinity.
Okay. So you could be in a relationship. Jeez, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
That's a weird one.
Because typically when I think of arrears, I think in terms of payroll and like you pay in arrears. So like you work this week and you get paid for it the next week.
But it also means like keeping them in check, like not giving them too much.
Right.
So, yeah, she made 200 tonight, but he don't give her that.
I need more. I need more.
So why is that a good rule of the game?
You can control somebody that way.
I mean, but ain't that the basically what the rule of society is doing now? Like how they keep minimum wage at bay.
Yeah.
They keep you with the bare minimums. When they want to take care of you, they call it a stimulus.
Yeah.
Right? Here's a little money for your pocket.
Yeah.
Go get right. But at the end of the day, you still working for the man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Whether it's whatever company you work for, unless you out there making something of yourself. And even if you were, you still kind of work for somebody.
We all
right?
do.
If you own your own business, you got to cater to a customer. if you do any type of work, you got to pay taxes to the government. The government can basically tax you however the fuck they want. You know, it just depends on who's in power. So society definitely plays that role, believe it or not. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
It happens in everyday life.
Yeah.
It's a micro scaled version of how people that come into power stay in the power, basically. It's just
but
micro scale.
Do you believe that the top 1% of society controls the other 99?
100%.
At least in America?
They do.
Yes, 100%.
I do.
All right,
People are easily controlled.
It's funny how I hear about all these dudes who are billionaires and shit like that, and then you're like, I barely got $200 to my name. You know, most people in society live check to check. That's why we had to give a stimulus package, right? And now you cater, you done fucked up, fucking crippled society so much that businesses are crumbling because of the government. Because the government gives out excessive unemployment packages.
It's crazy, man.
That people don't want to actually work for a job anymore.
But here's the thing, right? I like, this is my problem with that, is that if your jobs are paying you so little that an extra $300 from the government is more than what you'd be making if you were at work, is that not the real problem?
Exactly.
I agree.
But if jobs were paying you a real wage, they would have to inflate cost.
They've already inflated costs. Cost is going to inflate regardless.
Right. Cost has been inflating for the last 30 years and minimum wage has not.
Yeah, it has.
No,
not at the rate of cost of living increase, but minimum wage has risen.
Its minimum wage is still $7 and change.
It's $8.25 now.
$7 and change. The federal minimum wage is $7 and change.
Yeah, but Florida, we talking about Florida.
No, you got to look at it. Like Florida's a small microcosm. You got to look at it like across the United States.
Right, because it's $7.50 in Mississippi.
But again, if
or
you
$7.75.
if you hire at minimum wage and nobody takes a job, eventually you would have to increase the wage.
Well, that's literally what's happening right now.
What the government is telling you is that that's the minimum. Like, you can't pay anybody less than this. Now, would people accept jobs at that? That's different.
Right. Right now, they have an alternative. But there's also been such an upheaval in the job market in general that now, before where there might not have been positions for people to hunt for, people are hunting for other positions because there's a lot of openings. So the companies who paid really shittily, they're having struggle getting people to apply for that job because there's still other better paying jobs available.
But the thing is that you're looking at jobs who are still finagling the political tides. So like places like Best Buy and Target, they'll hire you between $13 and $15 an hour. I mean, fuck, McDonald's is hiring at 11.
Yeah.
You know, and you're saying federal minimum wage is $7. McDonald's will offer you $11 because they need somebody to take the job.
Right.
But $11 still ain't gonna pay your rent.
But okay, so take that out of context, right? So McDonald's pays the guy $13 an hour to flip the burgers. McDonald's pays the chick $13 to be in the drive-thru. McDonald's pays the motherfucker $13 to work the cash register. Yo, $6 meal went to $12. What do you stop doing? Going to McDonald's because it's fucking. You're paying the same price you pay at McDonald's for a meal you pay at Chili's.
Listen, I don't buy that. If we make the minimum wage an affordable living wage, that everybody, because here's the thing: when their bottom line starts taking a hit, they're going to realize maybe we shouldn't have made the sandwich $12. Maybe we should still make it $6.
But it's called cost. So the cost of meat isn't based on the cattle. It's also based on the guy that has to herd the cattle, the guy that has to grind the cattle.
They're making more than minimum wage anyway.
But again, if you are making $11 working at McDonald's, I'm not taking $11 to work at a fucking ranch. I want $15. So now the price of your product for you to sell at that McDonald's went up because it costs money to produce it.
Right. And I'm pretty sure everybody working at a cattle ranch makes more than $15 an hour.
Okay, but they're okay with it right now because people at McDonald's are making $8.
So I love it. I love it because What's happening is we're getting into this discussion, and what we're doing is we're following the money, and it's leading us down the path. Because you know what, the next thing we're going to hit to is the reason why like our vegetables and our farm products are so cheap is because of immigrant labor that don't get paid minimum wage even, and live in horrible conditions, and they do it because it's still more money that they would make if they were still like south of the border or in Haiti or in Cuba. So like all the immigrants nobody wants to come over here are the ones doing the labor that lets our produce be so cheap, right? Do you know what like a comparison is like? How much is a package of strawberries in your local grocery store? $6-7?
About 4 to 6.
Yeah, depending on where you go.
Depending on where you go?
Yeah.
I know
Japan,
Walmart, you can get
it's
them for
$30. It's $30 for basically the same package of strawberries.
Why?
Because the rate they pay the farm workers to grow them locally.
How much better are their strawberries?
It's the exact same shit. It's just fucking strawberry. It's not a world-ending.
Well, but again, that's all, you know, in tides of big business keeping big profit and then not sharing it, you know, and then people not wanting to pay.
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason why certain things don't take off, you know, and then certain people, you know, think of it like Kevin Samuel said once. He was talking about dudes getting a Gucci belt.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, the government sent out the stimulus check. It was a line around the Gucci store. All right, how much you think that Gucci belt really costs to make? Like, I understand its name brand, but there ain't nothing different in their product than anything else. So it costs Gucci what? $50 to make that belt that they sold you for $700.
Right, and that's what I used to tell people. Like, I believe in quality, but quality has a cap, and so I'm not paying for brand. Like, I'll get to the cap. And, you know, like I would, if I'm going to buy, let's say, a Ralph Lauren belt, that's the same quality. That's $150 versus a Louis Vuitton belt of the same quality. That's $750. I'm going to go for the Ralph Lauren every time because they're like, I do like quality, but again, quality has a cap at some point.
If I had the cash, I'm grabbing the Louis belt.
You are?
Hell yeah. If I had the cash.
It doesn't make sense to me. I
don't
care.
I'll sit there and I'll contemplate at my level, being, you know, middle class, if it's worth it. But if I had that liquid income like some of these people have, like I would go with the name brand because it's a status.
If you have the money.
But I mean, but that's still not it's just not smart though. You don't see people like Jeff Bezos wearing these very flamboyant, like I'm sure his shit is expensive and quality, but like all that flamboyant, look what I got. Like I want my work to speak for itself.
Jeff Bezos may not represent his wealth the way you think wealth would be represented. So now again,
a lot of people with money.
Well, again, because they focus on other things.
Exactly.
Like from our demographic, the sign of wealth was a nice car and the clothes and your fit that you wore. Because that's what people saw you in. Because we come from being middle to lower class. It's very sociable. Everything you do has a social aspect of it. Right? Why did you want a nice car? Not because you.
Because other people.
Because you wanted people to see you in that car. Why you got a watch? Why you got nice shoes on? Because you want people to see you in an outfit. Because everything you did, whether it was Friday night at the skate rink, Saturday night at the club, it was social. Richer people like that, their circles are smaller. They go to galas every now and then. They wear fucking Tom Ford suits. So maybe they don't wear Louis Vuitton like we know. But a Tom Ford suit costs a couple grand. Like that ain't no Men's Warehouse buy one get two free. You know, like they wear something like that. But then you look at where they live. Like if you a man with a wife and you got 3 servants on payroll, I call them servants because butler, maid, whatever, servants. Why you need a 10-bedroom house? You ain't got that many friends.
Especially friends that are gonna come spend time at your house.
Yeah. Why? Look at Tyson crib that he had to sell. Like, he had this extravagant house. He paid $5.6 million. I mean, look at Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck looking at a $65 million mansion right now. They got money. I don't see them in the name brands because they putting their money into a house. They still floss, and they just floss in a different way.
Right. It's like having a yacht. Like a
what,
yacht is a thing you use every couple of weeks, maybe. Because usually if you have the money to afford a yacht, you're busy. So you don't even spend that much time on a yacht.
The thing is that their money far exceeds the Louis belt.
Right? Well, yeah, of course. But what I'm saying is, like, I think, honestly, and I don't know, maybe it's because of how I was raised, everything that I learned that if it's not something you truly want to do, it shouldn't make sense. So I don't dress up for other people. I never have. I didn't buy my car based off what I thought people were gonna. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, you want to look nice. So But
you live within your means of middle class. Like, and that's not to take a shot at anybody here, but like, we're middle class.
Oh yeah.
Like, none of us make $1 million. None of us touch 7 figures. So, you know, when I have to
I'm coming for it though.
I'm coming for it too, man.
I'm coming for it.
These NIL stocks.
Yeah. Good luck. Like, I hope to God you're the next the ghetto Wolf of Wall Street. You know,
the trap.
Sell me some stock. But that's where we live in our means. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love my car. It's a GM, although all the issues it's been having, but I love my car. You know, my car costs $40,000. You know, if I had the money for a Tesla, my ass would be in a Tesla though.
You could have got a Tesla.
But the Tesla I want is $90,000.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're again, like, who would own a $90,000 house or car before they own a house?
Unfortunately, a lot of people.
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
Yes, but again, those are the people who continue to be middle class. You know what I'm saying? Like we may be here, we may be a group of minds that have awoken from the Matrix. But there are a lot of minds out there who are still in the Matrix getting fed the same shit that propaganda, algorithms, and all that want to feed you.
Yeah, Powder. That was deep, man.
Yeah.
I like that one.
I like that one, Powder.
Hey, man. That was good.
Oh, shit. Let's get a standing ovation.
Fuck you guys. Suck my
good.
dick.
We can be petty, too. You've been petty the whole fucking podcast.
Look at you.
Is it my turn? Can I talk?
I like it.
I love you, Powder.
I was gonna say, like, for me, my aunt taught me a really important thing. She's like my great aunt, but she taught me about material of like clothing. So like I can tell the difference between thread counts and like what is what. Now I've noticed for women clothing and men clothing, women pay a lot less for clothing than men do, especially for a good quality. Even if for a bad quality shirt for men, it's still going to be twice as much than a woman's shirt. But what I think is like I started working when I was 13. So obviously when I first got my first check, I was like, oh, I want a new purse. Like that was my mentality. And I feel like that's a lot of people's mentality when they get all of this money all at once. Of course, like you want to seem cool, but then you're broke at the end of the day.
Yep.
Like you can't afford anything. My thing for me is if I'm going to buy something of a good quality, and if say like right now, I'm trying to look for a 65-inch TV. I'm starting to notice it's like $800, maybe $900 for at least a good quality TV. I would pay that just because I don't have to replace it down the line.
Yep.
Like for my car, I used to lease. Now I'm buying this car. This is a small little car. It's like a little SUV, but I can use it for road tripping. I don't have to worry about like going over my miles. I don't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah.
I buy good quality stuff, pay a good price, but I don't have to keep buying shit over and over again.
Yeah.
I'd rather not, like, you spend more money like paying for cheap shit because you have to keep replacing it.
Yeah.
You know, like there's certain things that you can buy little cheap things for, but not like for long lasting things.
But that's the facade you can also paint for people too. Like when you go in my house, you see over 100 pairs of shoes. So it's like, damn, you got a lot of pairs of shoes. But some of them shoes that I have are from like 2007, 2008. Because when I take my shoes off, I clean them and I throw them back in the box. Then I put the box up where it goes.
Actually, having a lot of shoes is a good thing because you don't wear them as often, so they don't crease.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, just in general, like when I buy headphones, right? I buy Beats. I like Beats headphones. Yeah, it's a little bit of a marketing ploy. My first pair of Beats were some Red Studios, and that was back when Monster made them before Apple bought them out. I still have them to this day. They still work. But what do? I use them. I'm very cool with them. And then when I'm done with them, I put them in the fucking bag or in the little case, and I put them back in the closet. Like, I take care of the shit that I have because I know, like, I spent my hard-earned money on it.
Right.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, if you're gonna spend money on something, take care of it. I just bought a car last year. Prior to that, I had drove the car for 17 years. Like, and everybody's talking about how shitty Ford is and this, that, and the other. That car lasted me 17 years. There's no bad cars, there's bad car owners.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I
I used to
agree
think
with
the
that.
same way too. I used to think it was bad cars, but now that I
If
think
you
about
take
it,
care of
yeah.
something, it'll last. Like,
Look,
that's just the bottom line.
Unless your sunroof gets clogged.
Yeah.
See, I had when I first started college, I didn't have a car in high school. So my first car was a free car, literally.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 98 Chevy, little red car. But I was the only friend in college that had a car. Nobody cared that if it was like 98 or if it was a 2017, whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
If they
like,
clowned it, it was still the car taking
it's
them to
still,
the party.
exactly.
That reminds me of, like,
Everybody's happy to
Jean
get a little.
Baptiste.
Exactly.
Everybody's happy
I
to
could
get a
take
little
you to the
piece of
spot.
shit car.
Now,
Like, oh, we taking a piece of shit. Let's
Not
go.
even that. Remember before all of us had whips?
Yeah.
Carlos had that little ugly ass Corolla,
Yeah.
but it was a car. Like
Right.
nobody gave a fuck, right?
Right,
like
exactly.
but then again, that's where you come from. You know, lower to middle
Beginnings.
class.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like you appreciate just having something versus like I gotta have this or that. Like we got a friend when he turned 16, he was looking at like Maseratis as his first car.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like bitch, I was just happy to get a.
To his credit, though, he was telling his dad like he didn't need anything that crazy, and even
Yeah.
the car he ended up with, his dad basically bought it because his dad wanted it.
Oh, I know
the,
who you're
the,
talking
the
about.
fucking bullet.
The bullet that
Oh
was
my
like-
God! Yes,
that,
and now I know definitely who you talking.
Do you remember that episode? I don't know if it's Dr. Phil. That girl was like, if I don't get a Mercedes as my first car, I don't want it. Like my mom is embarrassing me because her mom's a plastic surgeon or some type of surgeon. And she was like, it's embarrassing if I don't get a Mercedes class, whatever.
Send her to my mom's house. She'll get out of that real fast.
It depends how your parents raise you, though.
Exactly.
Like my aunt now, you know, she bedridden, right? Because you know the surgeries and the cancer and shit. But she's always like, "Oh, you gonna get me some Gucci sunglasses?" And I'm like, bitch, you fucked me up in the head. Like, and I'm sitting there wondering why I want all these name brand things, and here you are talking about like I need a Rolex with a green face. Like, you don't ever leave the house but to go to the doctor. Like
Hey, she want them to know when she step out. Hey,
you imagine that shit? Like, the only time you leave the house is to go see a fucking doctor and you put on a Rolex and a pair of Gucci sunglasses. Suck it.
I
Like,
don't know. I feel like I see some of those kids sometimes that wear all Gucci, and then I'm like, you step into the room with no confidence. You just think of a brand name is
half
gonna make
half
you.
the people that wear Gucci is fake to begin with.
Yeah.
You know, that reminds me remember when we went to take photos for that one birthday?
yeah.
In that little Jamaican like club spot,
Yeah.
and everybody had like the Balenciaga shoes on, and
Yeah.
I was like, man, them shits is ugly. Like, I'm sorry, like I'm a Vans dude. Like
Mhm.
I've pledged my allegiance to the United States of Vans of America. Okay, like I'm good. Like, I don't need Jordans unless they're 13s. Like I only fuck with the 13s and the Jordans.
I
I'll
just
take
want
some
good shoes.
What?
I just want good shoes.
I'll take some
Justin
Air
Murphy.
Forces, but most of my shoe collection now, like when I'm buying shoes, is Vans, just Vans. But it's like when you see like people in like $800 shoes and they walk in these places, it's like them shits literally look like the fucking Air Max Marty McFly wore. And,
It's like the Yeezys.
Them foam.
Listen,
Yeezys,
I
I actually kind of like the way
I like-
Yeezys
I like
look.
the
I just don't want to
shit's
pay
ugly.
for them.
I like his sneakers, but his clothing.
Oh no, his
I
clothes.
would
Listen,
not-
I
I don't
got-
even like the sneakers, the foam Yeezys.
I got-
I like
I
those
gotta-
little, they look like Crocs, but just cooler.
I got a
I don't
pair.
like Crocs.
I got a pair of Yeezy 350 boots, all whites. I wore them once when me and Andre went to Halloween Horror Nights. Put them back in the box, never wore them again. I always be looking at them like, oh, I'm killing with the Yeezys today. And I'm like, nope.
Yeah, because they all white. You don't want to get them scuffed.
No matter what pair of shoes I have in my house, like I always go for my same pair of high top skate high Vans just because I'm like, these is the everyday shoe.
Yeah.
I did something different today. I wore my low top Burrow Pros, but like,
Listen, if I can't enjoy something that I've acquired, I don't need it. Like, if I'm trying to keep from messing it up because it costs so much or it's so
I'm just
out of, I shouldn't have bought it in the first place.
no,
Because that means
you got me bent because I'm just waiting on the right time to fucking kill y'all. Like,
well, first off,
like,
I'm a man of fashion. You can't ever kill me.
oh shit, you play it, please, because
You couldn't ever kill me.
One thing
I'll put on a dollar store outfit and look just as
everybody
nice.
knows when I step
You know how
out.
to dress. You know how to dress.
When I step out, I step out. But most of the time, I just don't be giving a fuck.
But I mean, okay, so listen. I know you know how to dress because we're men of fashion, but you know it's not about what you're wearing; it's about how you wearing it. So I could put on dollar store clothes and look like $1 million.
I could just take off
I
my
don't know,
shirt.
I have dollar store socks sometimes. They have like really.
I
fun
can't do that
prints.
on my feet. Won't
Actually,
allow
the
me.
ones I have on right now are dollar store socks, but I've definitely in college bought dollar store socks.
Listen,
They're fuzzy socks. They're comfy. It was a struggle.
sock wise, like now at work, I'm wearing my Polo technical sport socks because they go all the way up to my knee. So like they'll help with the circulation. But like when I step out, I'll step out and usually like some type of like decorative sock, mostly Stance.
The way my toes set up,
Right.
I gotta have like a nice thick sock or that shit'll get fucked up.
Like, I
That's
got
what she
the-
said.
That's what she said.
She said she
Okay.
need a nice
Here we
thick
go.
sock.
Okay, we done with that.
All right.
topic.
Anyway, so let's jump into this topic. What is it?
All right, what you got
the
for us,
difference
lady?
Okay, okay.
between what is
Being
it?
alone
can I
and
say it?
loneliness.
Can
My-
she say
Thank
it?
Go,
you.
go ahead. Go ahead.
My bad. I'm sorry.
What's the difference between being alone and being lonely? What do you think?
It's a deep question.
It is a very deep question.
I'll go first.
Thank you.
Since I was at the club yesterday by myself, I didn't feel alone
We saw that.
because what you didn't see is by the time I left, there's a group of people following me.
You didn't feel alone, or you didn't feel lonely?
Like Jesus.
I mean, I didn't feel lonely.
Okay.
And I didn't feel alone for long because I think charisma is something either you have or you don't. And whereas I don't always have to be the loudest voice in the room, I don't always have to be the center of attention. If I'm in a situation where I'm by myself, I know eventually I won't be alone because I'm inviting of others. And my energy invites others to want to invite me.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't mind going somewhere alone because I know what I bring to any situation. So yeah, I turned the snap. Like I was with people actually then, Powder. It was just, I didn't really know them like that. So I didn't feel the need to put them on my snap. But like I started dancing. And
Which
then
one of y'all believe him?
I believe him.
Because you like to start shit.
Why? No, you just a
I
hater.
believe him.
And so that's all that is. But
Yeah.
I don't.
Let me see your cup.
So sometimes it's good to be alone, man.
Let
right.
me see your cup.
Yeah, it
So
doesn't
anyway-
necessarily mean that we're alone.
Oh, you still got something in there.
Yeah.
Pussy.
So what happened was, Andre here came by, and another homeboy of ours was there, and they were chilling, and I felt like the vibe was they were just gonna stay at the house. So I was like, I'm gonna pop downstairs, right? And I was like, I'm just gonna pop downstairs. Like I don't really need a. It's nice to have a friend, but I don't need because I can make friends. Y'all know that. You know this.
Right.
I don't know why you being a hater.
I feel like even sometimes when you're with friends, you can still feel alone.
Yeah.
That's true.
But that's not
Yeah.
alone. That's
It's
lonely.
lonely. Yeah.
That's lonely.
Lonely.
Like
Yeah, we got a friend
lonely
like that.
lonely is like when you don't feel
Which one?
connected
Hot tub?
to anyone.
No,
For
no,
sure.
Being alone is just
It's a
like
physical thing. Like you're
no one's around. Like I actually
individual.
prefer to be alone.
Yeah.
Like this is my sanctuary. I ain't gonna lie, I came in and everybody was here and I was all like,
He's scratching
My
himself.
anxiety.
like y'all invaded my space.
At least you didn't have like dirty drawers and shit. Never mind.
No.
I forgot he don't wear drawers.
And I got my sexy ones upstairs. So
You got your
from
what?
our last podcast.
You got your sexy ones?
The ones you wore to the dungeon.
The ones you wore to the dungeon? Bro, I knew it. I knew you had the fucking dungeon outfit upstairs. Like, I was sitting there, like, talking to Ghost. I'm like, you think he really got that shit upstairs? Like, he was real quick not to answer that question. Like, let's analyze this guy real quick.
But yeah, like being alone is just like, all right, cool. You know, there's no one around, right? Being lonely is just not knowing, like, not having anyone you feel you connect with. And that could be different tiered, right?
Yeah.
You could be like, hey, you know, I just don't have any homies. Hey, I don't have like any romantic interests.
you're
Hey, I don't have any
disconnected.
family. Yeah, exactly. So there's different levels to the loneliness thing, but alone is completely a different.
Now, can you be happy and alone?
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you're not happy and alone, that's a
So
sign
then
that
you
something
be
is
alone
missing.
and lonely.
I think you mean
You could
You'd
be
be-
alone and lonely.
you could be alone and lonely. You could be together with people and still be
Lonely.
lonely.
Yes. And if you need people to not feel lonely, if you can't tolerate yourself by yourself, and you constantly need that stimulation, there's probably something a little lacking. You know, it's not a good thing that if you can't be alone, you
Right.
know, with your thoughts or with there's something that might need to be improved, I would think. Because like I used to live by myself and I was okay with, like, I was super okay with it. Like, and I feel like
Would you ever go back to that though?
Huh? Yeah.
The person that you don't know.
I'm actually trying to get back to that because I don't mind living by myself. Like, the only reason why I'm living with people now is because it was convenient and
Yeah.
it helps. Like,
the money was.
yeah,
Yeah.
like right now I'm got a business going and everything. Like, it makes sense to save as much money as possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely I'll be within, you know, the next couple of years, I'll definitely strike it back out on my own because I am totally okay with that. And the thing is, you invite people, you come, you do, you know, people come, they don't come, whatever. I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna be good.
So like where I'm at, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
Where I'm conflicted is like I'm getting so used to being alone. I was in Jersey for 4 years by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm now and reconnecting with people and I'm going out. I don't even text people. Like that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Like I just don't socialize anymore. And it's weird because I'm a social butterfly. That's how I am.
Yeah.
But now I'm just so used to like the other day I went out with my friend and she wanted me to go out the next day and I was like, my social meter is up. Like I can't go out again because I don't know. It just
Yeah, it feels
it's
weird.
fun, but it's like I like being home and being relaxed and being safe and like in my sanctuary. But at the same time, I want to go out, you know? Like I'm conflicted by those two things because I want to be out there and experience life. But I like being home and like experience life in my own little place.
I think
mean,
it
that's-
also depends on who you experiencing it with.
Yeah.
That can make or break your experiences. I think I was fortunate growing up and even now to have a group of friends to where we all had each other's back. We all had each other's best interest at heart. Like, it wasn't too many fake folks around, like, you know, and thoughtful men, you know what I'm saying? And women. And so like it enhanced the experience. Like there's sometimes when it's going out and it feels like a chore.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you're going out and you're like, it's a celebration. And you want to make sure you keep people around where you're celebrating life and it's not a chore. Oh, this person is going to be doing this and this person going to be doing this stupid shit and all this kind of stuff. You know, you gotta, but that comes with, you know,
I
being
think
able to
people
weed that out.
I think people demonize wanting to be alone when they really shouldn't. Like you said,
Right.
like a lot of people do need to constantly be social and be out because, you know, when you sit with your own thoughts, you think about a lot of things, right?
Yes.
And that's a struggle for some people. So they need to be surrounded by people. They need to be actively doing stuff. 100% understand that. But on the reverse of that, people demonize like just wanting to just chill, be with your thoughts, or enjoy things in solitude.
Yes.
Like they demonize that, and they really shouldn't, because it's just you being comfortable. Now, if you never go out and you never socialize with people, that I feel like
That's a problem.
that is a problem, right? Because we are human beings. We are social animals. You know, we are animals. Forget what you heard.
Herd animals, yeah.
So like we definitely need to socialize, and it's just about finding that balance between like your own personal time and personal space and being social. I can tell you right now, I refuse to ever go back to living with a group of people. After living on my, like, I lived on my own before, then I went to Gainesville and I lived with people.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Orlando and I was living with people, and now I'm living by myself. Nope.
Right.
Yeah.
Nope. Like, even like, I was thinking about, I'm like, if I get a house, like, I want a detached space. So if my mom comes to stay with me, she can stay in the mother-in-law suite.
Yeah.
And I ain't even got to deal with her like on a constant basis.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, ideally, I would do that as well, but I'm okay with the situation as it is, because in a way, it challenges your ability to compromise, and I think that's good practice for just dealing with people in general. So for me, a lot of things in my living situation now might not be how I would necessarily have it if it was by myself. But it also, like I said, is challenging my ability to compromise and let go of certain obviously you have things that are
Don't you feel like that's damaging though? Like you're constantly compromising in every area of your life? Because at work, it's nothing but compromises, because work is a social setting. So like at home, at the same time, to constantly be compromising, you don't feel like that's damaging in the long run?
No, because I mean, if you ever get married, you're gonna be living with that person for the rest of your life.
Isn't the idea that someone who you're gonna marry with and stay with long term would understand certain aspects of you?
Well, I mean,
and there's obviously there's going to be compromise, but wouldn't they understand some of that?
Well,
like,
that's the same.
Isn't that the whole point?
That's the same thing with my current living situation. I wouldn't live with somebody that didn't understand me or I wasn't comfortable with. My roommate is my cousin, who I've also known my whole life. So, like, it's not that big of a stretch. Like, we know each other's triggers and this, that, and the third. So it's not like, but we're still fundamentally different people. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's still like, because we love each other, we're going to compromise on things.
Powder, what do you think?
Wait.
So I think the definition of being alone is like a physical definition. Like, I'm alone. Like, there's nobody around me.
Yeah.
Physical. And lonely is an emotional attachment to say that I'm here, but I feel lonely because I can't vibe with nobody.
Everyone.
Hey, man. Hey, he's hitting out the
Even
park
though we
today,
said that
man.
definition
He's hitting out
2
the
minutes
park
ago.
today,
Everyone.
It's okay.
He nailed it. You nailed it. Powder.
Write a book, man.
You see what happens when I just sit back and listen? Like, I don't cut into anybody, you know. In my aspect of that, like, I think people need social interaction, but you also need that space. Like Superman. Superman was always in the crowd's eye. He was always this and that. But every now and then he had to go to the Fortress of Solitude. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all motherfuckers is wigging me out. I need some space. And you know, I know that because I'm like that.
Yeah,
Like,
I was about to say, you just like what we're talking about.
I love social interaction. Right? Like I don't have a ton of friends. So like my little group that I hang out with, like, even if I'm hurting, like last week, I'm hurting. Like my legs hurt. I'm not in a good physical space, but my peoples is out. So I'm coming out. I want to hang out with them at least for a little bit because I get a little interaction. Get to mess with my manzo a little bit, like you know what I'm saying? Like we throw some shots back and forth, and then it's like it get too much. I'm like I gotta go home. I like my social interactions, because I don't like being alone. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like feeling lonely as an aspect. Like, sometimes it's nice to clear your thoughts, but it's always nice to have somebody that you could throw something off of, because you never know if you're right or wrong. Right? Like, this is my idea, and if I'm only throwing my idea back to myself, then I gotta hope that I got a devil and an angel on each side of the shoulder to say this is right, this is wrong. But if I'm only seeing shit from my aspect, then it's very hard to make like moves in life without that social interaction. Now, when it comes to being like home life, like I love my space at home, right? Like I lived by myself for a while. You know, I got my aunt at home now, you know, because, you know, that's what family do for family. But it's like, I like having her at home sometimes because, like, if I need to come home and talk to somebody, like, I know I got somebody. And if I don't want to talk to her, I know I can just go up in my room and shut the fucking door. You know what I'm saying? Like, like there's no intrusion of space at that point to live with somebody. I can still get my alone time. And then, like, if I need somebody, I'm there. So it's like the best of both worlds. I couldn't be a roommate with just anybody because I don't trust a lot of folk. Like, I may vibe with you. We may go out and have a good time and shit like that. But it don't mean I fucking trust you enough to let you into my personal life.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I've only, even when we were in Gainesville, like, most of the time I had one bedrooms. Like, I don't really trust people like that. I think I've had, Andre, Chewy, and my cousin. Those have been my only roommates. Like, and Johnny. Those have been my only roommates. And I can say that all those went well. But I don't want to chance it with a lot of different people. And I think also a part of being a responsible, or as you grow, becoming an adult with wisdom, you have to know how you fit in with a social settings and what you're actually doing in those settings. And I say that, and I don't want to dominate conversation, but I say that because I recently realized that I've been known that I'm an empath, but I'm also like a conduit. Like, people's energy, like whatever energy they give me, I take it and then I reflect it back out. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed that. And so it's like, so in order to protect my energy, it's like, oh shoot, I might need to not hang out with this person right now because they're aggressive all the time and I'm already aggressive. Yeah. So I need to protect my energy today. Yeah. And not be out with this really aggressive person because this could go bad tonight. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yep. Or, you know, whatever the situation may be. But I think the only reason why I figured that out is because I had time alone to figure that out. Mm.
I was going to say, like, when is being alone for too long, is that damaging in the long run?
Yes.
Like,
you forget how to react in social situations.
So, like, in my particular case, I was going to say, like, I've been single now, and I'm only saying this because this is how I'm feeling. Been single now for, like, about 2.5 years, and my last relationship was, like, 4.5 years, and it was very intimate, very, like, I lived with them and their family. So, like, how I'm feeling now is, like, I feel like I don't need anybody. Mm. Like, I just feel like genuinely I'm just so independent.
That's such a Kevin Samuels topic.
I just, like, I don't know. I just feel like I would love somebody in my life, of course. And that's why I feel like I'm going into a new chapter into my life and I'm definitely ready and open for it. But I think it's my commitment at the end of the day where I'm like, I don't really know if I really want you in my life. Like, I have a set way of doing things.
That's typically the stage where you find someone who fits into your life without major disruptions. Right. Like, that's where you don't go to the toxic boyfriend who don't got a job and you supporting them and then he gonna end up sleeping on your couch.
Wait, why he gotta be toxic though?
Because he is toxic.
So no. I'm not. No, listen.
I said a trigger word.
Listen. Like that word triggers something with me. You know that. Just because he ain't got no job, don't make him toxic.
Oh, he toxic.
No,
necessarily. You're right. But
you're
like,
right. You're
He has
right.
no
You're
motivation.
right. But like,
No. You don't
There's
know
a lot
why.
of
You don't
reasons.
know why.
if he doesn't have
man,
a job, what is he doing?
What is he doing? Is he
but,
trying?
But that wasn't stated in the statement.
what-
It was just
lack
he
of
didn't have a
motiv-
job.
You're right.
A lack of motivation, and we should all know that a lack of motivation does not always equal laziness. He could be depressed. He could be unhappy. He could be whatever.
In this particular situation, what I was trying to say is that obviously she's very content in her life, what she's doing, what she has going on, right? What she's looking for now is someone additive who's going to add stuff and not be overly dependent on her, especially as now as she's appreciating her independence.
A compliment to life.
Correct. That's what I meant, right? I'm sorry I lumped in like all the toxic boyfriend tropes into one lump with the word toxic.
Like,
I apologize.
let's unpack this, boys.
But you know that's.
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
I want to hear this.
Let's
you know
unpack
that's.
this a
But
little
I'm
bit.
just saying. You know that's my word.
I
And
do.
it's also
I
on my.
do,
And it's also on the newest merchandise at 2dabcrew.com/merch. I had my I'm Toxic shirt on the other week. That
Yes.
was like
It
3
was
weeks
pretty
ago.
lit.
That shit was pretty nice. And I got a compliment at Winn-Dixie. So you know the people shopping at Winn-Dixie know all about that toxic shit.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do. But no, let's unpack this a little bit then. So if you are ready for a relationship, isn't it just a little bit selfish to want somebody to compliment your life?
No.
No.
What the fuck, man? Like, it's my life. If you want to be a part of my life, you have to compliment me. That's the point.
The idea is,
In my point,
relationship,
I would
that
compliment
person
yo.
would compliment your life.
Reciprocating it back,
Like
yeah.
Right.
it's two ways, man. They say
But,
no one way street.
I mean, like,
You think
okay,
you driving to
so no,
Sanford?
but what I'm saying is, so I feel like, and maybe it's because of who I am, but I feel like if I'm ready to be in a relationship, I know that there are certain things, compromises and sacrifices of time that I used to wouldn't have done that just is associated with it. I'm not going to get a girlfriend and then be like, I'll show up whenever it's convenient for me. If she calls me and says, you know what, I really want to hang out, I'm going to make the time and hang out with her. Like, so I feel like to an extent, yes, like I guess the overall picture, you don't want it too distracting, but there's always going to be sacrifices and things that you make in any kind of relationship or friendship. Like, there's been times I've showed up to things I really didn't feel like showing up to, but because you're my friends.
But you count that a sacrifice though?
Yes, it's a sacrifice.
Like
you could always say no.
But did you have?
We should always be able to say no.
Like most of the time, I do something I don't want to do. It's just because like I ain't got shit better to do. So I don't count that as a sacrifice. I just count that as my.
But I'm
so saying
you've never.
But I'm saying like literally, you gonna sit there and tell me that you had better shit to do and that you made a sacrifice to go do something with somebody you didn't want to do.
Listen,
Come on, man. Nobody sacrifices that shit. Let's be real.
Shit to do is very subjective because some people, as Andre just said, would prefer to be at their house with their own space and alone.
Yeah, but
if they're
again,
saying, you know what,
but I'm chronically known as saying, I'm just going to chill at the house. And I tell people that all the time.
But again, exactly.
So I value chilling at the house more than what
so let me
do.
use an example for you, right? So Andre, right?
Yo,
the epitome of antisocialness right now.
First off, I'm not anti-social.
No. Okay,
my battery only goes so far, and then I got to recharge.
I need a refill.
What the hell? I look like a bartender. Fuck.
That shit was delicious.
So anyway, let me use Andre as an example, right? So my man is at the epitome of antisocialism right now, right? He works, he sits home, he looks at the computer, he doesn't answer the phone for his friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, he does what he does. He's in his own confined space. But if I call that motherfucker and he came out with me, there's no such. It's not it's not a fucking sacrifice for him to say like, I could have been sitting home jacking my dick, but I came out here with you tonight. No, that ain't no sacrifice. A sacrifice is like, hey man, I'm about to have dinner with fucking Biden and Obama, and I decided to come here and watch a movie with you.
No,
like that's a sacrifice. Like, you giving a better life experience, you giving up to go out with somebody to do
sacrificing something that you would rather do, even if it's.
But that's what I'm saying.
Like
Again, you saying rather do like if it was more entertaining.
It doesn't matter about the entertainment fact. If I wanted to be at home watching a basketball game as opposed to going to a sports bar and watching a basketball game, that's a sacrifice for me to go to it because obviously we should be. Saying no is everybody's right. That's the first thing. So. Like, I don't understand people to get mad when somebody says, no, I'm going to sit this out or this, that, or the other. Everybody's right to say no. So, the fact that I didn't say no, even though I'd rather be at the house in my pajamas, not going anywhere, watching the basketball game, but I decided, you know what? I'm going to go with the fellas, this, that, and the other. That's a sacrifice. It might not seem like, but it is a sacrifice.
I disagree.
I have to agree with you. I feel like it's not necessarily. I feel like there's another term for it other than sacrifice because sacrifice is a very.
I would say you have a preference for sitting in your underwear and touching yourself versus going.
But I mean, if I'm sacrificing what I want to do.
But that goes to show about you and how you value your own time and how you value.
Right.
That's a sacrifice of how you are, and you're being. That would be kind of like a selfish thought. Then you're kind of being selfish within yourself. That technically.
Well, but that's not. I'm saying you're not gonna feel that way all the time. But I'm saying if there's a time, I'll give you for instance. I really, at the beginning, before on the way here, I was sick. Like I think I was still high. It probably, I don't know. I just didn't feel good at all. That's why when I came here, I told Pout, I was like, "You're lucky, man. I feel like shit." But I came anyway. That was a sacrifice because it would have been easier for me to be like, you know what, I ain't gonna do it, and then I would just slip in.
That's
okay.
But that's not a sacrifice, though, man. Like,
but it is.
No, because you feel like shit and you still got out. I mean, like I understand if you had COVID or something, like, but just because you was drunk and high, like see, you wake up the next day and you got to go about life.
I think people downplay. I think there's selfishness until you call it like
keg.
I think you're using the wrong word. I think the word that you're triggering is sacrifice. I think you say sacrifice.
It is our instinct to be selfish creatures, right? That is just the human nature.
But it shouldn't be though, because Jesus gave Judas bread, and Judas stabbed him back. But Jesus still broke bread with Judas.
But listen, so at the end of the day, it is human nature for everybody to be selfish. That's just what it is. So anytime you do something you don't want to do, it's a sacrifice.
I don't know. I can't use the definition sacrifice for every little thing. Right. Like that is you no.
Okay, so what would you call it? I'm sacrificing time that I would rather be doing something else.
But you saying sacrificing is if you was giving up something better. Like, and to me, like
to the person that don't want to do it, whatever that they're doing is better.
But are you doing yourself the favor by sacrificing, or are you doing your friends a disservice by pretending to be something you don't want to be? Like
it's not pretending to be. It's just
let me use an example.
Deep today. Man.
No, I want to use a prime example, and I'm not saying this is true, but this is true. You know what I'm saying? Like as an example. Like, don't sacrifice your time to be on a podcast. If you didn't want to be here, then don't be here. Like, you don't do any of us a service by being on this podcast, even though you didn't want to do it because you had something better to do. And I'm not using that as a truth. I'm using that as an example. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't sacrifice. Like, if I don't want to do some shit with Andre, and I'll be like, yo, look, I'm not feeling it today. And he'll be like, all right, cool.
But you just said sacrifice. So,
but if I don't feel like it, I'm not going to do it.
You just say it. In this, you say this now, but then you said, oh, I went to the fight and my legs was hurting because I made the sacrifice. But you weren't doing shit else.
But I didn't say I had something better to do.
I didn't say I had something better to do. But
I'm saying I wanted time with my friends. So no matter what I was feeling, I wanted to do that, so I did it.
Obviously, I don't do anything I don't want to do.
What I'm thinking is you're saying sacrifice because you're valuing your own time as a very higher time. That's what you're. That's what, which is good. I'm not saying
you have to value your time.
Yes, but it kind of sounds selfish. That's what I'm saying. If you're, and it's a good thing to be like that, but in a sense of friendships, in a sense of like coming to like something like this. Like the word sacrifice, I get where he's coming from. It's very harsh. There's other words, but if you're just saying if you're going to stay home and like how he's saying, just say you don't want to go. But then,
I would break down like if you said, "Yo, I'm giving up like my like." What I usually say is like, "Yo, I'm giving up like my personal time, my self-healing time to go do a thing."
right.
I would never say I'm sacrificing it because I feel like sacrifice is like an extreme. Right? Because, like, I'm a person, like, I love to, like, I work very hard. It's a high-stress job. Like, I clock out. I literally don't want to talk to people after I clock out. Like, it's a struggle. Like, I have a reminder on my phone, like, yo, call your moms, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's been X amount of days since you called your mom. I always try and make sure it doesn't go more than 2 days without talking to her. And, like, I call her and I set a reminder, yo, call your moms. Because after work, I literally just don't want to interact with people. Because I've been interacting with people all day.
Yeah.
And then when I do give up that self-healing time to go do something else, I wouldn't call it a sacrifice. I am giving something
Do we not
up.
understand what the word sacrifice means?
We
Is that what that
understand
is?
it.
Whoa. I will tell you what the word sacrifice means because I was Googling it. An act of giving up something valued for the sake of something else regarded.
Okay, so time is valuable. My time is valuable. I'm sorry that you guys don't value... But if I spend time with you, that means something. And I don't think it's selfish for me to think that my time is valuable. We only get a finite amount of it here.
Mm-hmm.
And
speak for yourself.
Give up.
As far as we know.
Wait, another one. Give up something important or valued for the sake of other considerations. That's
okay. So this is literally what I've been saying. The definition is literally what I'm saying. Thank you, Webster. So anyway, I mean, but I get what you guys are saying. You're like, oh, I don't mean it like, oh, I would never tell my girlfriend I'm sacrificing time to spend time with you. No, not like that. It's just something you do. So that's why I was saying to me, it sounds selfish when you say, oh, I want to find somebody that just fits in with my lifestyle. That to me doesn't make sense because there's going to be times where
but then is that not,
you have to compromise.
Aren't you just devaluing the things you hold dear in your own personal life? Like, because like if you're like, when we say finding someone who fits and complements you,
is everybody fighting for the next comment?
No. I'm just saying like because when you say when I said like, yo, at that stage you want to find someone who compliments you and is going to help you go further. And likewise, you would help them grow and go further and you fit into their lifestyle in a particular way, as long as you're comfortable. If the person that fits into your lifestyle is a fucking fuck buddy and that helps you and gets you what you need and it satisfies them and they're getting what they need out of the relationship, sure, whatever. But it's a situation where you're going to want someone who's not going to like drag you down or be overly dependent, right? That's the thing.
So like,
but that's not
because you value what you've gone so far on your own.
So basically, just be in a healthy relationship. Because if you weren't in a healthy relationship,
that's literally what I said.
Codependency is a sign of that.
So some people like the cuddle after sex. Some people like the shower after sex. Some people like to get the fuck up and leave after sex. Like, there are different people in life. You need to find one that you're compatible with. Because if you like to cuddle after sex and this motherfucker over here likes to shower and leave after sex, you're going to have a problem. Because, like, you sit there wanting the cuddle after sex and they want the fucking bar dial soap because they try to get the
Are you
fuck
saying you're
out.
upset when I get up and leave?
I think what happened.
Damn.
I think we
It
conflated.
just got real.
I think we conflated compatibility with fitting into your life, and those are two different things.
But
Fitting into my life, the way I would see it, or at least the way I'm defining it is, I can't be bothered to be inconvenienced in anything in my lifestyle. So if you fit in, great. If you don't, no. Compatibility is like, okay, we vibe, we get it, this, that, and the other. I don't think necessarily it's too much to make, quote unquote, adjustments or compromises with a compatible person. Because at the end of the day, we could have adopted, like you said, from being alone so much. Like, I saw this with my mom. She was unwilling to compromise. That's why it took her so long to find a partner, and she didn't find one until she realized that she had to compromise on some things.
I was going to get into that. It's kind of like a good segue because what I've been noticing now is, well, at least what I've noticed, is a lot of women are now, they're placing their standards. There's like a trend going on, like higher standards, and now guys are finding it hard to compare
Kevin
to
Samuels
these
all
independent
day.
women.
Yep.
But guys want an independent woman, but don't want the responsibility of an independent woman. They don't like when we don't call back and we act just like you, but then it's a problem. Like it's you guys can't handle when we're like, we're not gonna text you back every single time. We have our own lives. Like, you can't.
That's why
this.
I've learned to be. I'm open with my emotions, and I'm emotionally damaged, and I need attention.
And that's another thing. Like,
if
you guys don't.
if you cannot give me attention, then I'm sorry, it's not gonna work.
But
Right.
here's the thing, though, right? Because I want to touch on what she just said, right? Because we're all dudes here. We all know plenty of women, right?
Yep.
How many women do you know who don't have their shit together?
Mhm.
They like they're in no kind of situation to be making demands like that, but then turn around and be making these demands. So like, he got to have X, he got to have Y. You ain't got shit.
Right.
don't
Why
know
I gotta
shit
have all
about
this?
shit.
And you ain't got shit. And you're right. There are strong, independent women out there who
But-
got all their
but
shit
listen,
together and
listen.
deserve that.
But
there are bitches who ain't got shit.
That's what I'm
Whoa,
saying. It's
but-
still a fucking double standard.
But no, that's beauty, because I want to talk about the double standard of men and women when it came to toxicity, because of that shit we was going through in that chat the other week. But we'll segue to that. But the problem with standards is like what Kevin Samuel says,
Okay.
and I'll go with that, is that like a man doesn't expect a woman to be on his level.
What?
So
Go ahead. Explain.
all right,
As a broad general statement.
as a broad general statement based on the majority of men, if I'm making 6 or 7 figures a year, I don't need a woman that makes that.
Okay.
I need a woman that's gonna compliment me, that's gonna do the things I need her to do. In Kevin Samuel's terms, her wifely duties. You know what I'm saying? In that's one standard. Now, in a woman's eyes, if she makes $50,000 a year, she can't be with a man that makes less than $50,000 a year.
Mm.
In her eyes, is that I make this, you're a man, you're supposed to make more than me. So her standards are different because she's not looking for somebody to compliment her life. She's looking for somebody that she can still consider to play second fiddle to, yet make all the answers as like a first, like
That's another broad general statement.
But
gonna say-
again,
Not saying everyone,
but they are broad statements, because you've been in that situation plenty of times where a chick look at you and you can't talk to her till you buy her a drink.
Right. Or I've had chicks literally, and you've been witness to this, I've had chicks literally walk up to me and go like, "Oh, you gonna buy me a drink?" I didn't.
But
I didn't talk to you.
again,
I
like
don't
that may not be like you in your aspect and your group, but that is the majority of people out there. They look for what's in it for me beforehand.
That's like the same thing for girls. If a guy buys you a drink, they're expected to
Sex.
get something afterwards. So there's like obviously this like clashing of shit that like what is right and what is wrong. How do you actually go up to a person and not expect all these shit to come afterwards? So what do I do? Just not.
So
be
it's
me?
it's a toxic circle, because I
100%.
feel like sometimes I literally just want conversation to see if this girl is compatible But I know I can't do that unless I buy her a drink first.
Conversation costs a drink.
Conversation costs a drink.
In a club atmosphere.
Or lounge.
I don't think to every girl. I feel like, okay, personally, and I just feel like if you're just a genuine person, like, I'm not going to think that every guy that comes up to me wants to do something.
So you are rare because if I just walk up...
No. I've run into that because literally I got accused of flirting with that chick last night by Fox because I was talking to her. But honestly, she's just an interesting person and we had things in common.
Like, I want friends.
We were talking.
No. So again, as I want to draw the scenario.
Okay.
Right? You're a single woman in the club, maybe with 2 girlfriends. You're having a good time. Obviously, there's a ton of thirst in the room. How does a guy catch your attention?
Sometimes I think guys are cute and I go up to them. I feel like I've definitely
Who's
done
had that
that.
happen
How
to
do you want to be approached?
Well, I guess I'm not cute because
I feel like
What?
if it's
Count on
like,
my
I don't know,
hand.
it's like this like certain setting, like if it's a good song and then like we're just vibing, like you don't necessarily have to give me a drink. You'd be like, wow, your outfit looks amazing, or something like that. Say something stupid. Like, you'll be surprised at how many girls
I take that
genuinely
back.
like when you like look at the little things. Like, that means you're actually paying attention and you're not just looking at a physical. You'd be like, wow,
I honestly
that thing on your
think
thing, it looked good.
I honestly think the only reason because I had to back up off of it, I started to get on the defensive, and it's true. I've been approached by many women, but I know it's simply because I can dance. I'm the first one out there, and I'll cut up, and I can dance pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So, that kind of gets my foot in the door. Like, with me and my folks, we used to have choreographed routines, like. On next level shit.
Ain't that like kind of like tricking people? Like, y'all went out, y'all already this the dance that's gonna get them.
Funny.
Like the lambada.
But it works though.
But it
works.
But not
See
only
them go out there, they're just all like
right.
the WAP comes on and they all like WAP.
Right.
This is the forbidden dance.
At the same breath, like not everybody could do it. Like everybody couldn't do it either. Like it wasn't no secret. It was just you can't dance like us. So because there was plenty of people that knew what we were gonna do. They just didn't look as good doing it.
Like, okay, so this is funny. And the thing is, I feel bad. And a lot of my friends say that I shouldn't feel bad by turning down a guy. But naturally, I just am very sympathetic to people.
If you're just saying, hey, not interested, no, you shouldn't feel bad. But if a dude walk up and you go, ew, or or like, there's, you don't know. See, like, there was another TikTok I saw where this chick was all like, oh, I took my boyfriend's photo and then I started up on Tinder and I swiped on all these guys. I'm going to come back in 10 minutes and see what matches I have. And then she came back like, well, it's been a day and there are no matches. Like, women don't know, like, you legitimately don't know what it's like for guys on the other side. And there are a lot of chicks out here that are just savages, not in a good way. Right? Like, you imagine if you walked up to a guy and he looked you up and down and went, ew.
I know, my ego would be like,
right. And you ask any guy and they will tell you, no, that shit happens. Or you walk up and like you said, say something funny
What
or
say?
compliment. Hold on.
Boy,
Let me finish. You walk up to, or you said walk up, say, like, I like your shoes, or say something funny. Guys do that. And the first thing, like, not interested. Didn't even get anywhere. Didn't even get a chance to make polite conversation.
So we talked about that because we got a homegirl, and the shit that she was saying was like, dudes would never get away with that type of toxicity.
Yes,
but it was like, because you're a female, it's considered okay.
Yeah.
But if dudes had did any of that shit
that she was doing,
it would have been labeled as toxic.
Yeah.
Like,
see, I want to get into this because this
all
is.
right, let's
and then the important part to remember is, what is this dude gonna do with that? The hurt of that rejection.
That's okay. My thing we're talking a club scene, right? We're talking about women, adolescents, like kind of in.
No, like,
I'm gonna break it down like very like scientifically and try
like,
to get down.
Ideally, these are women between the ages of like 25 through 25 and up, because I won't put a cap on it.
So let's be realistic.
Actually, you know what? I will put a cap on it. About 37.
Okay.
36, 37.
Oh, no, say
So let's be realistic
drinking age
then.
to 40.
Drinking age to 40. Okay, let's go drinking age to 40.
Okay, realistically then, women that go to the club are usually somewhat single. Majority of the people there are going to be single. They're not, I mean, unless you
Or
see
looking
them,
to play.
that too.
Or flirt.
Now we get into why
flirt.
are they there? Either intentions of to get something at the end of the day. So most of those women will probably say yes to something that they want. They're not going to leave saying no if they're going in for sex. Let's just be realistic. Now, if you're going to the girls that are single and they are just trying to see what's out there, but not sure if they really want to do something, but they kind of want to do something, but they don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of these women, if they're single, going out to the club, dressing up, they probably had some shit done to them. Let's be realistic. A lot of the girls that go out are hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the reason why. And I'm not saying it's not defending it, but it's just saying that's the majority of why girls are like, get the fuck out of my face. Like, you know what I mean? And it sucks because it's already past damage that they are now going into. So, like, they're trying to, like, be better than what their fucking ex was, but now they're hurting other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's right. But it's a realistic story of, like, how do you say no to something that you've already been so traumatized about? Like, I said no to this guy and he called me a fucking bitch. He said, you're ugly anyways. Okay, so the next time a guy hits on me, what am I supposed to say? Am I supposed to say no thank you or get the fuck out of my face?
So I think we're the double standards. Let's shift into the double standard
Yeah,
conversation, but I think the double standards is like, oh, well, guys are built for rejection and they don't get hurt when that stuff happens. I feel like that's the general attitude and why they feel okay.
Charge
like,
it to the game.
If I told people a chick walked up to me and like she tried to talk to me and I was all like, sorry, your breasts are too small, or sorry, you're too short. I don't date chicks your size. Mind you, I'm tall, so I don't got that height problem. But if I told her, I'm sorry, you're too short. I only fucks with chicks like this. Everyone from besides my dudes who are like, man, you could have gotten some free. Besides the dudes who are gonna look at it as, hey, that was potentially some ass you could have gotten. Everyone would agree that I was being a jerk for how not even entertaining it. But if a woman does that, it's all like, no, she's well within her right to do that. Am I wrong?
Oh, you're not
I
wrong.
don't know. I feel like maybe because I don't know. I think of it, we're all humans. We all have emotions.
Now, can you think of the situation of outside of your head? Now, be the ghost on the wall watching you and your girls out one night, and then watching your girls, and then see if any of this makes any sense. Because I think a lot of people judge situations based on them solely. Like, yeah, I'm a good person, and I entertain this. But then you're with two girls, and then both of them are like.
Next time you go out, don't say anything. Just watch.
And I've done, because I've definitely done that. And the thing is, like, I've seen I've literally seen like girls that I've met, and they come into our group, and my guy friends are trying to get with them, and they're like their faces automatically are like, don't talk to me. But and we're just trying to have a good time.
It's like what Kevin Samuel says. Who's in a chick's ear telling her that she can be single and be okay? Another single chick. You know what I'm saying? Like that's who's the one that's usually, oh, you don't need him, girl. Like, you could do this, you could do that. It's usually the single friend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we're all, and again, this goes out to we're all social and all that. But the whole purpose of life was to meet somebody and mate. Now, whether you have a relationship, a polygamy, or, you know what I'm saying, you just move on and like divide and conquer. I mean, like, to each their own. But that's the whole point. The whole point of sex being pleasurable is because, like, you're supposed to want to do it in order to
preserve your species.
Exactly.
I feel like if it was outside of a club setting, it might be different.
It's even worse.
No, but I think
get the fuck away from me.
I think half the time, like, it's not always the girl that you go to that has the issue. It's the friends.
So is the friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
run into that because, like,
especially if you don't come with the same numbers. Like if it's a chick out with two friends, you got to at least have two friends, and they got to be at least equally as playable in the situation. Because say you step up to one, and your two friends is bad, and then her two friends is better than that, and they don't want to deal with that, then they'll be like, girl, let's go. And then you get pulled, and then next thing you know, you out in the open anyway, because they don't want to see you happy because they ain't getting none.
So
You gonna tell me that ain't a play that happened in real life?
Oh,
y'all
yeah, yeah.
lie.
it is
That's a
because
play.
I'll tell you, like, the
Y'all
number one
lie.
strategy.
Right out of the penny handbook.
If I'm approaching a group of more than one chick, right, I always start off with the one I'm not interested in. Get a conversation going with the group and whatnot, and then eventually try and make my way to the one I am interested in.
That's smart.
And then as soon as you focus in on, the conversation shifts and you can tell, oh no, there's the vibe that's starting to build. The friends are then all like, oh, he's nah. Yeah. Hey, let's go do this. Hey, weren't we going to go to this other club? Yada, yada, yada. Like you start off talking and like everything's cool. The vibe's going and we're chilling. And then the vibe focuses on one. And then she's not necessarily the one who's ready to roll out.
Yeah.
But suddenly the rest of the group
But
is.
doesn't that kind of like just show the type of person that you are? Like how influenced you are by your friends. Like there's certain times to be influenced. If I found a guy cute and he's talking to me and he took the effort to talk to my entire friend group and then finally pinpoint down to me, and my friends are like, nah, don't fuck with him.
Well, hold on.
Like,
the dark side of this. Let me tell you the dark side about this. Usually I don't go for the hottest friend. I go for like the second hottest friend, and then the hottest friend gets upset. Because they're used to the dynamic of, they automatically come to the hot one.
Right.
So it's
but flip that situation though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So chick and a dude are talking, and the group of dudes is like, we rolling. What does the dude say? I'll catch up with y'all.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's not leaving.
Like, whenever you done, we gon'.
Yeah, but dudes is like that. Like if I seen Andre talking to a chick, it was like, yo, I'm ready to go. It's like, yo, give the man a minute. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like we understanding, like, yo, this game of courting somebody isn't the same. But I don't think women have the same rules. I think when your friend is ready to go, like if you didn't get it,
it's time to go. Down to like, you're just trying to be protective over her, and I feel like that's the different dynamic of it too.
What do you want for your friends?
I want them to be happy.
Okay.
If I see one of my friends and we're all about to leave, I'd be that friend to stay with her just to make sure she's okay.
Yeah.
Because that's just a
would you deal with an unattractive dude for the sake of your friend?
Yeah.
She had to think about that.
There was a pause there.
You heard that? You heard that pause?
Lady D is very confident in what she says, and there was legitimately a pause there.
I mean, okay, knowing me, I like conversation. I'm not into looks. I mean, obviously, yes, but like,
I was gonna say amend your statement.
But I'm genuinely more attracted to somebody's mind and soul rather than their like physical. So, regardless, my friend I had to talk to her, the guy's friend. I do it, but obviously, that conversation between me and him will be like, oh yeah, like it's not anything like flirtatious or anything. It'd just be like, so how's your day? Like something basic. Like I'm not gonna try to flirt.
Listen, at least you don't just sit there and refuse to talk to them, because there are chicks that do that all the time.
But that's so fucked up. I don't know. I can never. It can never. Not gonna say it can never be me, but I'm just saying like I'm just not that mean of a person. Like I just genuinely feel like I'm gonna hurt somebody else's feelings, and I don't want that. I just want better for people.
Oh.
Damn. That was deep.
That is deep.
I wish everybody thought like you.
I wish too.
No, I mean, that wasn't
like,
supposed to be petty or funny.
We can sit there and have this conversation, but that ain't how it work outside these four walls.
That's true.
You go out there, it's ground zero. Like you try to sit there.
It's motherfucking Hunger Games out here.
That's why I said what I said. It's,
like I feel like I'm a pig with an apple in its mouth, just waiting to get cooked. Like you about to set me up.
It generally gets to the point where you almost have to do like a assessment. Like, do I even stand a chance? Like, you have to constantly assess whether you should make the move.
I learned the front like long time ago. Like, I'll pretend like I ain't got like like I'll be a little like kickoff-ish. Like, I don't want you to know anything about me, because like I want to sit there and feel the situation out. Because you start saying too much too quick, and then people start to assume. No, and I mean they just assume, right? Yeah. So it's like let me give you the very basics. If you still fucking with me at that point, then cool. If you're not fucking with me at that point, I'm walking away and I'm not wasting my time. I think some people try too hard.
Yeah.
And then some people don't try enough. Like I try to find that like in between where it's like
don't try at all.
No, I mean you try, but just
I don't try.
I'm just giving you enough. I mean you don't
try.
You don't have to. They all chase you.
Yeah, man, I don't try, man.
Oh, I don't get chased either. I just stop trying.
My man, Ghost get chased.
Man, I don't try.
He got a couple
got the
of
time of day, man.
My man beating him off with a stick. He like get away from me. Get away from me.
I'm like, well, let me
toxic one.
Let me focus.
Let
me focus on the areas of my life I can.
My man, he remind me of like a guy on an airboat and the alligator jumping on the airboat. He's sitting there with one foot on the snout and a stick trying to kick the alligator back in the water. Like, get off me, damn it.
Just be nice, bro.
Yeah, man.
So
Come out with the swag and his chum in the water.
Yeah, man. Start off with the friendship. It's big on friendship.
You should have seen him last Saturday. He showed up in the Two Dab Crew sweats. He had the Two Dab Crew shirt on.
Got to, man.
Money
comes first.
He had the Two Dab Crew hat on. My man was representing.
Money comes first.
And here come the little waitress.
Money comes first.
And he asking a ton of questions.
You have to.
I like her tattoos. And then he like I like her tattoos. Get out of here. This is the same shit you keep saying every time. Damn it. I like her tattoos too.
I like your tattoos.
It's a good starting point.
It's
a good starting point.
He didn't say it to her though.
No, I wasn't gonna say it.
Like
to her.
with the dude.
My man already knew her. I was like, nah, I ain't gonna.
With the dudes was like, why you be so friendly with her? He's like, I like her tattoos. Son of a bitch.
Tattoos, man.
What I wanted to ask. So, did you guys watch the movie Think Like a Man?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that the big businesswoman and the guy that was like an up and coming chef.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that type of situation where it's a woman that's way more higher status than you are? Does that hurt your ego or pride?
Not mine.
Not mine.
No. No. They say that shit at first. Like most men will be like, no, I want a woman that make bank. But I'll be honest, like for me, I would feel some type of way, not against her, but against myself. Like here's a woman.
Why?
Because here's a woman that's doing well for herself, and I'm not doing as well. And it's not because of like saying that she.
But you could be up and coming.
But what I'm saying is I would turn into motivation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I wouldn't hate her for being like, you got your shit together and sweetie, you did something right in life and I congratulate you. But the fact that you did it and I didn't, now I'm hating myself. Like, why the fuck you ain't get your shit together? Yeah. And I'm in the mirror having these conversations like, what you got to do to be better?
Yep.
And it ain't got nothing to do with her, but it would definitely light a fire under me in a different aspect. And that, you know, depending on the amount of alcohol could lead to a conversation of, you know, humility and littleness.
See, I'm different because like I already got my shit together, but I would give it up to be like Mr. Mom, like to be comfortable because I'm a giant kid. So like the idea of like just chilling, taking care of kids, and just like having a good time.
No way.
Like that I would do. I'd give up a career to do that.
I don't
Stay
think.
at home dad.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want to stay at home mom. Like so, I wouldn't want to be with a chick that had too much time on her hand because then you get some shit like that sex life shit y'all was like.
Good segue. Good
No, you know what I'm saying? Like
man, all day.
Like you gotta have something that keep you occupied for something. You know. And again, like I don't care how much you make, whether you make 40,000, 60,000, 100,000. What you do is what you do, but you gotta understand that life is about obligations. Right? The first couple months we had a kid, you got to stay home, take care of the kid. That's different. But you got to do something in life. Because a woman with all the time in the world, next thing you know, she going to have all the men in the world. You know, you'll be looking at the milkman a different way. Motherfucker, why you keep delivering milk?
No more, it's the FedEx guy.
Like, we don't even drink milk in this house, man.
Prime guy.
Yeah.
It definitely be the Amazon Prime guy. Because they don't even have to wear shirts. I've seen the dude wearing a vest.
What?
Yeah, he had a sleeveless vest on. Like the motherfucker had the shirt all open and shit, everything. Like literally a vest he didn't even have zipped
up. Oh, he was
up.
trying to play some Housewives,
right,
man.
That motherfucker literally, I was like, the fuck is this guy, Aladdin? Like he's flying on the magic carpet, delivering gifts and shit. Like Aladdin.
So do you think men or women are more vulnerable to temptation?
Men.
Man,
So then,
Just
Women-
because no, I think physically
100% man.
physically men are more vulnerable to temptation, but emotionally women are. That's why
I can
women have
agree
their
with that.
guards up because men play an emotional game. We talk, we tell women certain things.
talk a big
we
game.
we get them to, I mean, look, we've been in a situation where we've seen people where they're like, "Yo, I'm gonna leave my wife for you."
Yeah.
oh,
Right.
God.
Dude ain't leaving that wife. You seen them wife? He ain't leaving her. Especially like I don't understand how a woman in her mind could look at a chick better than her and think that your man was
Your
gonna
man
leave.
would leave you.
Your man would
Yeah.
a man would leave a better woman to be with you.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't see that. But I mean, like women play the straight temptation game. Like women know what you want. Like you don't give a fuck what the woman, her personality look like, what she got in the bank or anything. If she show up in a Vicky set and in a robe, and she took that shit off, and she was like, "Come get me," like I don't think it's a man that would be like. The only thing in his mind is if he was in a situation where he had to get away with it, he's thinking, "Can I get away with it?" That's the only thing he's thinking. He's not thinking like this ain't right, this ain't that. He's like, "Can I get away with it?"
Yep.
So no. I think women are more susceptible because I think the temptation comes in so many different forms as compared to a dude.
Yeah,
Right.
but are we talking about temptation as and again as an emotional aspect or a physical
General.
So
aspect?
because in general, because like chicks are constantly getting hit on. Two,
Not,
they're
not all chicks.
Listen,
Not all chicks.
listen,
No, 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 no.
Chill.
listen,
Not all
listen.
chicks.
But ask any chick. The dude that fucked her up spoke a good game.
Right. I understand that. But what I'm saying is like for a chick, they're getting hit on by a lot of guys. B, there'll be dudes that then just play the long game, befriend them. That best friend that they tell you not to worry about, who's just biding his
Who?
time.
You?
No, I don't play that game. I got
You?
I'm way too lazy to play the I'll be your best friend and confidant until my opening is there. I ain't got patience or like time to do all that nonsense. But like that's the kind of like I'm gonna say this as a tax, but that's the kind of attacks that chicks are at. So the split second they're not feeling seen, loved, appreciated. There's so many more opportunities for them to fall to temptation. A guy could be unhappy in a relationship for weeks, months, years, but it's not until he's going out with his boys to the club and then he runs into chicks that he can mac on.
No,
that
her
happens.
question was who was more susceptible. And the thing is that women have that shit thrown at her every day, so they kind of build like some type of immunity to it. I mean, it's the same reason why you got to do so much to get their attention in the first place. Now, dude, you could be sitting there and a chick put her hand on your thigh and all of a sudden like the fucking red lights is going off in your brain. Like, woo, like is she flirting with me? What is going on
Imagine
here?
being so starved for
That
attention
easy?
that
Jesus
listen,
Christ.
A pat in the
It's
back.
way
A
it
pat
is.
in the
Like,
back.
men are so
It's like
starved for like attention and affection that all that stuff can be
It's because
In
it's
a
because of
relationship?
society. Society has brainwashed us.
For sure.
When you listen to like again, like if you're a music person, you listen to some of these songs about all the shit they do with all these different women. I mean, you could be blindsided. Like you look at T.I., right? T.I. makes music. I like T.I.'s music. But T.I. always talk about all this shit he do with all these hoes and shit, and you be like, yeah, I want to do that. But you don't realize T.I. go home to his wife every night.
Yeah.
Right? You only see a persona, and then you want to be that persona versus being the person. T.I. is an activist. T.I. is out in the streets trying to get, Black Lives Matter protests. He's doing all this other shit. Nobody sees that. They see T.I. in the music video with 3 hoes around him in the club, and he talk about, I could have any one of them, and then the guy wants to be that.
That's
Like
that's a
If a
segue
woman
into something
does
that I
that
was thinking
shit.
earlier. The reason a lot of people say they want this or they want that, and then when they get it, it's boring. It doesn't look like what you think, because another thing, the media, Hollywood, they portray being in love as something that's effortless. No, that's not. they portray it as something that's going to always be exciting. Oh, he's going to sweep me off my feet and take me here and do this, that, and the other. And I can say that because I can speak. I'm coming from a point of experience where everything was good. Literally everything was good and the relationship still ended. Because at the end of the day,
you wouldn't
what
sacrifice
she thought
time.
she wanted, when she got it, what it looked like was not. It was boring.
Listen, I think
it was boring to not know that I was gonna always come home and that I was gonna. You know what I'm saying?
It was
like
that sex life shit. We got boring.
Huh?
It's Sex Life.
Sex
the
Life.
TV show.
That's
No,
literally just like that.
right,
She got bored.
exactly.
got
So
bored.
like,
He's got some other issues on hand. If you
Listen,
really
I
take that
believe
apart.
this. It's two people in life. It's people who celebrate Valentine's Day and people who don't celebrate Valentine's Day. Which one are you? Because
if I'm in a relationship,
if you
I'm gonna take her somewhere.
the point is, if you celebrate Valentine's Day, like, you ain't ready for a relationship. Because if you take one day out of the year to celebrate your love for another person, like you
Well, I
ain't,
mean, they're still gonna be looking for
you
something
ain't
on
ready.
Valentine's Day.
You not ready in general. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't appreciate somebody one day out the year.
It's like chicks are always saying, I don't want flowers just on Valentine's Day. I want them all the time.
Well, the point of thinking about somebody is think about somebody, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So whether you're doing it on Valentine's Day or not, it's different. But the thing is that, like, if you only wait for that day, like, if that's the day you take your chick out to eat at a nice restaurant, if that's the day that you get her flowers, if that's the day you send her the cards and the balloon, and you don't do that shit the rest of the year, obviously it's a facade for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I knew this nigga was soft.
Lover boy.
Hey, man.
We got a lover boy.
Lover boy power.
man. Love boy powder, man.
Fuck y'all, man.
No, it's a good thing.
Get over Love boy powder, y'all. Hey.
Suck my dick,
Love
okay?
boy powder, man.
Yeah, fuck y'all.
But you're not wrong. You're not
But
wrong.
I'm saying,
You're not wrong.
but that's
appreciate them every day of the
that-
year, not
yeah.
just on Valentine's Day or your anniversary.
You know what I'm saying? Like shit. Yeah, but that's it.
I feel like there was a lot of growth on this podcast today.
I like this.
Like growth. Who growing?
I regress.
Shared.
Yes.
You regress.
I regress.
I haven't digressed not once today.
I haven't heard it.
It's good.
Not once. I'm
Look
just
at
sitting
you
there
asking
chilling.
to speak. If
But
you
that
can
was a good
talk.
thing. Me regressing is a
you.
good thing because I was getting jaded
Good
for a
boy.
little bit.
Jaded. I seen you out in them clubs.
Hey,
Next
I-
topic, honeybee.
Yeah, I actually got. So that leads, if we're talking about the sex life show, like, how would you feel?
wait.
Well,
for
you
me.
know what they say in these streets. It's about controlling your smiles and cries. If I can quote Ethan Hawke from Training Day.
Oh my God.
I'll go use that as the topic in there. You know, if you want to understand the streets, just know it's about smiles and cries.
Yes. Yes.
So obviously a long podcast. You know, it'll be chopped up. Let's decide on a promotional code for the Patreon members for August. Because by the time this episode will come out, it'll be towards the end of August.
Hot as hell.
It's already hot as hell. Come on, what we got? We got to have a special Patreon code. I mean, toxic was the last code. Obviously, you know.
I mean, we have
Oh,
them too.
sacrifice.
Sacrifices.
Oh, yeah,
sacrifices.
So if you use the code sacrifice on the podcast on 2dabcrew.com/merch, you go order something, you use the code sacrifice, we'll give you what, 15%?
Are we
50% sound
sacrificing?
good?
Are we
Yeah,
sacrificing 15?
we'll sacrifice 15% of the profit.
Listen.
To help
I
y'all
am
on
out.
a
never
shirt.
going to apologize for thinking that my time.
I'm
Put that on
a shirt.
I'm gonna create a new shirt tonight. It's gonna say #sacrifices.
sacrifices, and I make them all the time.
Put a clock and then put.
And then the back of the shirt will, the front of the shirt will say #sacrifices. The back will have like a picture of a cape.
or a clock. Do a clock.
Or a clock.
Or a clock, yeah.
What's the clock got to do with sacrifice?
Time.
Man. It's time, bro.
Nah, I'd like the cape because you talking about being Captain Save-A-Hole. So imagine the back of the shirt look like a cape, like if it was a costume, and the front say sacrifices.
Oh my God, that would be fire though. Not even gonna lie, I wear that shit every day.
Well, you got to buy one first. 15% off. Use the code sacrifices.
I gotta sacrifice my money now.
Yeah.
Hey, it's for a good cause. You're fixing us. Wait, you don't do that.
I don't do that no more.
But we appreciate everybody tuning in. Everybody showed up today. We'll hit you with a peace.
Peace.